10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Music, please.
Beautiful. I hear you, baby.
The most tremendous new musical experience.
Beautiful. I hear you, baby.
Are we on the air?
Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Are we rolling? Can you hear me now?
Yep, ready?
All right, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
You know me. I've been around forever.
I know him.
This is the Tony Bruno Show. Here he is, the godfather of sports radio. Here's Tony Bruno.
Hey there, crazy cat ladies and all the other people and Commander in the White House. I hope you're all right, brother. All my dogs behind the wall. Mad love on a Friday here. First Friday in October, believe it or not. And we have so much stuff going on. Sports, entertainment, anything you want. We'll have a Florida update because a hard man is hard to find here in Florida. We'll have the exclusive interview with the guy who actually is now in trouble, I guess. Miss Robin's never in trouble. She joins us here tonight. Luigi's going to join us here in a moment. What's going on? Robin, hello?
Hello.
Did I startle you? I believe we've got. I believe that the government is trying to suppress us here, even on a silly sports talk fun show on a Friday, as we try to bring the thrill, the color, the pageantry, the electricity that is uniquely into the night. And we welcome all of you again. We're back on. Strapper bras out there, all you people. All my dogs behind the wall, and, of course, my dog down there in South Philadelphia, where the sound of four-wheelers and dirt bikes has finally been put down as the city of Philadelphia, where my man Luigi Curto runs amok, finally cracking down on all those dirt bikes. And it happens all over the country. But, Luigi, your thoughts now on the city of Philadelphia cracking down on those dirt bikes and the four-wheelers. By the way, it started in Baltimore. There's a documentary about it. You know that.
Yeah, it started in Baltimore, but it ended there because all the wheels got stolen off the ATVs. That's the problem. It happened in Baltimore, right? And there's a poll going on outside right now, literally on 15th and Wharton, what's the difference between the dirt bike and the dirt bag? Is there that much of a difference?
That's a good question. I believe. Are they doing that? What's your Mount Rushmore of dirt bags and dirt bikes?
Are we
but I got to give the city credit. Listen, they got a new police commissioner, Luigi. You know that.
Yep.
And it took a long time because the mayor of Philadelphia, after realizing that the city, thanks to the Eagles and the Phillies, the city looks good. But thanks to the crime and the shoplifting and the looting and stuff, Philly looks bad. And so when Philly looks bad, even the mayor can't stop a police commissioner from doing his job, which is enforcing the law and arresting criminals and getting these bikes. And the reason people say, well, what happened? I remember we used to go down to the impound lot when PPA used to come after me and take my car and put it in there. Well, they used to take all those dirt bikes and put them in the impoundment lot and then sell them at auction. Then they realized that the same people who had their bikes taken, illegal bikes taken, would come back in and buy them again.
Well,
right?
The thing is that the news was, and we have breaking news. Also,
we have breaking news already on the show?
Yeah. The news was sent out earlier this week that there will be launching in 2024 the Intercity Olympics, and looting along with catalytic converter cutting are two of the top events this year, Tony, that are happening.
Will that be part of the Penn Relays, or is that part of Made in America Festival next year?
Right. It's speed, 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 Tony. That's what it's all about, man. We get rid of the luge, we put in the loot. That's what it is, looting, not luging.
So anyway, there was an arrest made in the death of a local LGBTQ activist who was anti-police. And it turns out that the guy they arrested was a dude who was an acquaintance who happened to walk into his house in the neighborhood near where you live, Point Breeze, and went in and shot the guy 7 times. So I don't know what happened there, but the bottom line is, they're getting the criminals. And that's all we want as a civilized society.
That's it, dude.
We want people who kill people to be held accountable. We want people who destroy stores and shoplift and damage businesses. We want these people held accountable. That's the way law and order used to work in the Philly and America I grew up in, right?
No, 100%. Like you said, Tony, it has nothing to do about bothering people, tampering with innocent people. It has about, if you're doing something wrong, we want to go get the bad guys. That's all it is.
Exactly. It's that simple. It has nothing to do with politics or who's right and who's wrong. And the sad irony of this whole thing is the guy in New York who was out with his girlfriend at 4 o'clock in the morning sitting on a bench, and then some guy is up the street who obviously had some mental issues, and he goes and confronts the guy trying to talk to him, and then he gets stabbed to death right there on the street as his girlfriend standing there and watching. He was another anti-cop guy. And I'm not saying I celebrate the death of anybody who is anti-cop, but the bottom line is the same people who are anti-cop and want the police defunded and call cops bastards are now facing the repercussions of dealing with the cities in which they live, and the people who are hurting them and killing them don't really care what their stance is on police. Criminals don't care about cops. Criminals don't care about law and order. That's the bottom line. And I don't want to do much on this. I just want to move on. But since Philadelphia has been in the news, you are now seeing it happening in San Francisco, Philly, and other cities, where now all of a sudden these cities realize that lawlessness is running amok all over, and now they're getting police departments involved to try to bring the peace to these towns. That's it. That's what they're trying to do.
It's funny. I love when I hear people saying, when they get how do they get these guns? I'm like, they're criminals. They figure it out.
Exactly.
This is their profession. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do.
It's like these dirt bikes. They were looking at them, and guess what? All of the VIN numbers have been scraped off because they were stolen from somebody who legally bought them, and then the criminals who get them, they get the grinder out and they take off the VIN numbers, and so that's why they really can't resell them. Now, of course, the person who bought it originally, you don't know where they are. Plus, there's no VIN number to identify it. So now they destroy them. They used to just put them back on the lot at the impoundment yards and then have people come in and buy them at auction. So the good news is that they're destroying these vehicles. I know people say, why don't they donate them? You can't donate a vehicle without a VIN number on it.
You're going to donate a burner rifle? Like, what are you doing? You can't donate a ghost bike. Like, you can't do that.
Exactly. That's the reality of the thing. So anyway, we got a lot of sports to talk about, Luigi. We got the playoffs.
We got playoffs. Baby.
You got that. I don't have any of my Phillies gear.
And, I got to say this, Tony. I mean, a lot of people are going to come at me for this already because earlier in the program a few months back, I said, the Phillies are not a very good team right now, right?
Yes.
And they started to come along, but I'm a person when it's time to eat crow, Tony. I eat crow.
How do you like your crow? Do you like it al dente?
No, Tony, I found the best place to have it. It's up off 18th Street. They do it over the hot coals, right? With a nice chimichurri, a Chianti on the side. It's beautiful, dude. It's beautiful.
Crow, beautiful. Not the black crows. Now, do you have blackened crow, or do you have the white meat part of it? Is there any white meat on crows? I think they're all dark meat, right? Because all of these wild turkeys are all dark meat. Because they run around.
No, it's not necessarily dark meat. It's just gamey.
Well, it's still that dark meat is what's gamey, right? It's like you catch a live turkey. It's not the same as getting a turkey that was, raised on a farm because those turkeys don't move around, so all of their meat is white, and the dark meat's on the bottom. And I love the dark meat, especially on the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, brother. You
feeling me, bro?
I hear you.
Feeling me?
Turkey
man. You know what I'm saying, baby?
Goodness gracious.
Turkey sitting.
Yes, we know what you're saying.
I said that to some girl before. I said, you look like you're sitting down while you're still standing up. That's amazing. I'm like, this is amazing.
Oh, there is a woman who lives right down the street from us.
Oh my God! Did you see her, Luigi, when you were here?
Very, very nice Latina woman.
Oh man!
Lord have
you.
mercy. You can set. Oh my. She has the most perfect bubble butt.
Oh
yeah,
man!
But Tony had me looking at her through a fence like Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World. I'm like,
no, you know what happens? I'm out back in the back there where the boat is. It's still sitting there, and the little puppy. She's got a little pug that comes running down all through the grass.
What's the pug's name again?
Pete, I think.
No.
Yeah, I think it's Pete.
Petey? No.
Petey, something like that.
It's like
Pete
Jeff.
the pug.
Or
Wasn't he buddies with Luca Brasi?
I think so, yeah. But he was swimming with the fishes. Or sleeping with the fishes. No, and this cute little dog will come and those little dogs, they yap and he's like,
yeah.
So I would call him over and then I would pet him and then he would calm down. And then of course I would then pick him up and dutifully walk down.
You would hug him and you'd squeeze him and
then I would bring him back to the lovely lady and she would thank me. And unfortunately she has yet to ask me to come inside, which I would do in a New York minute. Actually, that's too long. In a millisecond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, she is. And let me just say this. With all due respect to all the white chicks out there, even Miss Robin, and the flat-bottom girls like Taylor Swift, there ain't nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, ain't nothing like a Latina booty, man. Absolutely not. I'm talking about natural. I'm not talking about the people who get all the butt stuff and the Kardashians and that white trash.
Latinas don't got booty. They got bodega. That's what they got.
Exactly right, man. Exactly right. They don't have to get butt implants.
No.
These chicks, they don't need butt implants or all this fake shit. They are real and they are spectacular. Bodega, baby.
Bodega, baby.
You got to have something in the trunk. No doubt about it, man. And I'll say this until I die.
Well,
Latina women
don't have trunks. They have hatchbacks, usually. They have a hatchback.
Latina women are God's gift to mankind. Let's be honest, man.
I will. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing on it, brother. It just ain't. I mean,
you know what's interesting though, because Italian women don't have those. It's only the South America Latina women.
No, there's some Italian chicks, but no, you're right about that. Normally, most Italian chicks, they got the flat bottoms, and I thought flat bottom girls were supposed to be cool. You know what I'm saying,
dude? I was in Little Havana down in Miami. I'm on a street corner, just like trying to get my Spanish down as good as possible. Right? It was amazing. Oh my God! Get all that ass, brother.
Yeah, we need a little Sir Mix-a-Lot tonight, I think.
Nah,
baby got back. You know what I'm saying? And then speaking of back, how about the little AOC? Would you do that, Luigi? AOC. In fact, she's a real Latina. Let's listen in to some of her conversation. Okay, man. Putting on a fake Latina accent, even though she's technically Latina, but she's more white than I am. But I haven't seen her booty, though.
I don't know. I'm running through Latinas in my head right now. I don't even know. I got Shakira going through my head. I got Selma Hayek going through my head. I got all kinds of
Selma Hayek. Oh.
Gotta have them buns, hon. Now,
I'm telling you, though, man, not for nothing, not to make this one of those kind of shows that we usually make it anyway, but I got to go do Shakira. Is just, I can't.
Her hips don't lie. Nothing lies on her.
Well, she lies on her tax returns. She lies on her tax returns. That's about it.
Just when you think you have the perfect Latina woman named, and then you mention somebody else, and you're like, oh, yeah, her. Oh, yeah, her.
I mean, this isn't Latina, but like I remember, like during that time is when the Hips Don't Lie came out, right? And at that point, I mean, I was in my bedroom enough. I could crack a blanket, right? It was amazing. Mm-hmm. So I go to do this. I go to this luau, right?
Luau. That's not a Latina. That's a Hawaiian thing.
I know. But the hips thing they were doing with the luau, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm mesmerized. I don't even know what a woman's face looks like anymore. I'm just stuck on hips the entire time, right?
Oh, me too.
So I'm watching this thing, right? And there's like maybe 200 people in the audience, and there's like right, like going nuts. And then the music comes down a little bit, and they're still dancing, and everybody behind me starts talking. And I was like, will you shut the fuck up? She's trying to tell a story.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God, dude.
Name mas.
Yeah, we better start talking about
God.
Yes.
We better start talking about baseball real fucking quick, pal.
We got the playoffs tomorrow, baby. Playoffs. How about the all sweeps? Every one of the wild card series, 2-game sweeps, and so they had no baseball to put on the air from what, Wednesday, Thursday, and now Friday, and we got to wait till tomorrow.
It's been a vacancy for a little while, man.
Yes, indeed. But the playoffs again, the DSs, not the LDS. That's a church. The NLDS and the ALDS. The Mormons, not the Mormons, right? Aren't the Mormons LDS?
LDS.
That's the Latter-day Saints.
Yes, the Mormons. Not LSD.
No.
Although, I could use some of that right now.
Not LFO.
Or LMAFO.
Or LED.
Anyway, it starts tomorrow, Saturday.
Bring it back.
The Texas Rangers and the Baltimore's, and I know my boy.
Those Baltimore Warriors, they are a live bunch, Tony. They are.
Oh, yeah, they're the favorites now. I mean, they have become – now, Texas, give them credit. The Texas Rangers, were doing great. Then they lost a bunch of their star players. Then they fell down. They fell out of the wild card. And then all of a sudden they make the surge late and they get in. And then what do? They go down – they went to Tampa. No, who did they wipe out? They wiped out who did they wipe out in the American League?
Oh, why am I?
I don't even remember now.
Why am
was it the Tampa Bay Rays?
Yeah, it was the Rays.
It was the Rays. They swept them in their own building with countless thousands in attendance. And people, they played an afternoon game in Tampa. That's why the stadium wasn't full. No, the stadium's never full. And I love Tampa Bay. And I love the people in Tampa. And Florida's my home now. But they never draw. And if anybody thinks the taxpayers of Florida are going to be on, be on the dole for helping the Tampa Bay Rays build a new stadium under the guise that their old stadium doesn't draw, but they're going to build a new stadium costing billions of dollars, and the taxpayers are going to fund it. Hell no.
To me, that seems like a very strong financial decision right there to do that.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Don Juan says, "Hello, Nashville."
Yeah, I mean, listen, I hate fans lose sport franchises. I hated when the Seattle Seahawks, what do you call it? The Supersonics. When the Supersonics had the team yanked from them, right? Seattle was a great franchise. Unfortunately, now it's not safe to do anything in Seattle except playing fish around in the city.
Tampa Floridians would not miss. They really wouldn't care. I mean, there would be a handful of people that would be upset. But the rest of them, they're not going to care.
Exactly, and that's sad. But give credit to the Miami Marlins and the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Texas Rangers and the Minnesota Twins. Remember, the Minnesota Twins, one of the good things about living down here year-round is we got to go see the Minnesota Twins at their complex. It's an older ballpark, but they redid it, and it looks like an old-school ballpark down here, the Minnesota Twins Park. So we got to see a lot of their young players and their star players. We got to see the Red Sox down here and the Phillies and the Blue Jays. And the Braves, all these teams trained here on the west coast of Florida. So that was good to see them. But the Minnesota Twins, you got to give them love. The Texas Rangers were supposed to be good. They slipped. The Cubs were good, and then they faded. And so, what happened is we've got the best teams now in the divisional series, right? We don't have any flukes. We don't have any team that got hot at the last second and found a way. Arizona, to me, is one of the great stories because, remember, nobody expected them to be any good, right?
Absolutely not.
And then they go out, get off to a great start, and then they started fading a little bit. They're done, see? And then what happens, they come back strong, and now they're dangerous. The Miami Marlins were dangerous. Even though the Phillies had even though the Phillies swept them in 2 games, they still have a bunch of great young players, solid pitching, and I think they're a team that's going to be around for a while. So the Marlins, were a lively bunch, even though the Phillies played better, obviously, and got the wins. But the bottom line is Arizona. Right now, if you're the Dodgers, are you a little concerned about those Arizona Diamondbacks out there, Dodger fans?
Yeah, I think
Dodger fans.
Yeah, I think you have to be, and just for the simple fact of they're dangerous because they have nothing to lose. Like that team has nothing to lose. Like, and the thing is too is that we tend to forget sometimes. We say like, oh, that team sucks, or they're going to get smoked, or whatever the case is. But you forget, like, these guys are all paid professional athletes.
Exactly.
Like, they're all good in their own right, which means, yeah, at some point or another, somebody's going to get a hit. Somebody's going to make a timely play. Somebody's going to make a hell of a savage short and turn a double play that wasn't supposed to be made is going to turn the entire series around. When you have a team like the Arizona Diamondbacks going up against a juggernaut like the Los Angeles Dodgers, be scared of the Diamondbacks, man. Like
absolutely, and the Dodgers Dodgers pitching staff is decimated. I mean, it's not the Dodgers are a great team. Let's be honest, and the Atlanta Braves are a great team, and so that's what's going to happen, man.
Oh, the Braves are not just a great team, quite possibly one of the best offensive teams in the history of Major League Baseball. They're a wagon. They're a flat-out wagon. But the thing is, the Phillies, though, the Phillies are different from the Diamondbacks because the Phillies do have the firepower to go up against the Atlanta Braves. Yep. The Diamondbacks, however, they're the team you don't want to play because when you go out and you punch them in the face, they punch you back.
Exactly.
They don't step back. They punch you back. And if they're going to hang around and you let them hang around, you're gonna find out that you're going to be going home a lot sooner than they are. So they're dangerous, man. I wouldn't want to play Arizona.
No, hopefully these are great series, and we're not going to see any sweeps.
They're going to be.
We wouldn't think. And so the bottom line is this: it's going to be a fun weekend. So you got Texas at Baltimore, 1:00. Then you got Minnesota at Houston, 4:45. And I like that they're staggering these games, not like the Monday night doubleheaders where they had them an hour apart, which is a scam.
No,
the Phillies and Atlanta Braves, 6:00. These are all Eastern time. Ranger Suarez, for the second straight year, will get the Game 1 assignment to start for the Phillies in the DS, in the divisional round. And then the guy with the best porn stash in baseball, Spencer Strider. Strider? Strider. What do you think about when you hear Strider? I didn't even kiss her.
What else am I supposed to think about?
I think you have us so well trained, Tony, that anything that is with is immediately Strider.
I remember Robin. This was back on down here in South Philly when you guys still had the house. And Tony did not take the awning down, but he was tightening the awning. Yes. And he had a ladder up, right?
Yes.
And I'm walking with groceries in my hand, and I can't see what's going on, right? But Tony says to me, he goes, "Hey, Weeks, be careful. I'm on the ladder." I was like, "Ladder?" I didn't even, and I look over for a second, and this old woman was coming. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything at all. I just walked right into the house.
Well, who started that? That wasn't me.
That wasn't you. No, that wasn't you.
Andrew Siciliano, my partner at Fox Sports Radio. He's the guy that started that whole ER
It's
thing.
his fault?
It's not a fault. I mean, it was brilliant.
It is.
So I want to give credit where credit's due. Anything that named it an ER, whenever Andrew and I were on the air on those days on Fox Sports Radio,
it would always vocabulary has changed because of you.
It's not, but I didn't come up with that. I want to give.
That's not the only.
I'm not stealing stuff from people. I pay homage to Andrew because he would do it all the time. Striker, anything that ends in ER, right?
Oh, this one's the best one ever.
What?
Poker.
Poker. Exactly. I mean, anything that you can any word. I want everybody to play this game this weekend.
Yeah.
Instead of worrying about what's going on in the world and all this nonsense with the Speaker of the House. The only Speaker in my house I want is my Marantz, with the big throbbing woofer, subwoofer. I want to see the subwoofers in the trunk come back, baby.
Not John Morant's.
No, not John Morant. And by the way,
that's because you got to get them Kicker solar powered 12s, baby.
Exactly right.
Kicker solar powered.
Palmer.
Yes.
Border. See now what you started, Luigi? I started it with Strider.
Yes.
Starter.
It's amazing how often it comes up with something with an ER and in
Banger.
Your head, even if you don't say it out loud, you're still going to hear it in your head.
Oh yeah. Right. Oh yeah. It's one of those. Any word that ends in ER, just think. Well, anything. I want you all to remember this. Because you can't possibly have a convection without a word ending in ER coming up at least 5 or 6 times, right?
Now, Play Action Real says, "I've trained my wife. She talks this way too." You're welcome. You're welcome,
you know what?
everybody.
There's nothing wrong. Nobody's being hurt. This isn't hate speech.
Well,
this isn't inciting a riot. This is just
having fun with language.
Exactly.
It's educational.
With Tony Bruno.
It's educational, folks.
Just think of me as the modern day Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Remember when they used to have the thing with the one person on one side would say one part of the word and then the woman on the other side would say, strike her. Strike her. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was this little song that then they would the first part of the word would come out from one side, and then the other part of the word, and they would put it together.
Yeah, I used to work there. I got fired after one segment. It went blow me, and they were like, "Go on."
See, blow me,
right.
blow me.
And when they said to me, they said, "This is the kids program." I said, "These kids gonna learn today." 1 segment.
As the great principal in Stand By Me once said, "We're here for one reason and one reason alone: to learn."
That's right.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, the Phillies fans obviously got a lot of love, and ESPN and my buddy Carl Ravitch, you could see how much they were enjoying the fact that the Phillies were the prime time game in both days, because they knew the Philly fans would. And I believe, and I was told, that Major League Baseball and ESPN requested that the Phillies be the primetime game because they knew the stadium would be jacked and they knew it would look good on television.
It's good,
because a lot of people knock baseball. It's not exciting, and most people don't watch the regular season. But you can see, Luigi, when you get to the playoffs, that switch goes where every fan, every pitch, everybody's. You don't see all the people behind the. You notice how many people were holding their phones? Nobody was on their phones during those 2 games in Philly earlier this week. Were they?
Phillies fans are a different breed, and we have one of those.
Yes, and I think you know this girl.
Oh,
we found a Phillies fan who was, and again, there were no brawls, right? Did you see any brawls?
No, I actually do know her.
You know this girl?
I can't see that.
No, you probably will. I'm sure you've seen her. I'm sure you probably took her out. Maybe you had a little calamari at the table, and then maybe when you asked her, when you asked her tipiage, and then she said, "What did she say?"
Drop ever.
Tipiage.
Let's go to this Philly fan.
Now this is a real Philly fan. This is a young lady, and I mean lady, describing to the local media how you greet any potential fans. Not fighting, not spitting at them, not throwing stuff at them. This is the way you welcome in any opposing fans who dare come into your house. Because you know what?
You come into our house, you should get your behind kicked.
But not in the playoffs. It's just during football games, regular season, and all that other stuff. But this is the chick who's telling you how we do it as Philadelphians. Let's go to the tape, Robin.
Yes, I would love to go to the tape, except for the fact that it's not playing.
Oh, she must have been part of the first part of the program.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on.
Little charade. Sounds like.
Even Marlins man, by the way, he was at another. Did you see that Marlins man was at one of the American League games?
So I met the girl who works for MLB. She's the head of their promo department.
Mm-hmm.
And what you call it? She's the one who they do all the designs on the stadiums around the playoffs.
Right.
And I was saying, so where she was going to Baltimore after leaving Citizens Bank Park, and she says, to be honest with you, she goes, the rest of the teams, it really doesn't matter too much. They're worried about the Phillies exposure. It's got to be great for the Phillies because that's number one. It's number one as far as exposure.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Uno más. Here we go.
All right, here she is. It's a short.
What you have to do is tell anyone to go fuck themselves, all right? And you got to do this with it, all right? You have to do is tell anyone to go fuck themselves, all right? And you got to do this with it, all right?
And you got to do what? You see what she's doing, Luigi?
See that?
Yeah.
You see what you got to do?
You got to do it.
And the best part is their self. So she's not using pronouns. It could be he or she. You got to go F their selves.
And you got to do this. And then
you got to do this, which is the jerk off sign.
Right.
Let's hear it one more time. I want everybody to learn this. All of you fans in other cities that are not used to having playoff baseball, like Baltimore, Minnesota, everybody else, obviously Texas, even though they haven't been around. Arizona's pretty new. The Dodger fans and the Brave fans and the Astros fans, they know what the drill is at this time of the year. But let me play it one more time. This is what you need to do, especially if you're a woman in another city.
Here you go.
Let's go to the tape again.
You have to do is tell anyone to go fuck themselves, all right? And you got to do this with it, all right? You have to do is tell anyone to go fuck themselves, all right? And you got to do this with it, all right?
There you have it, folks. There you have it, folks.
When a chick tells you, when a chick's doing the jerk off thing, she is. That's a classy broad right there, man.
Jones right now. I'll tell you what. I could see her serving water ice for a long time.
Water ice.
You have to say water.
Water ice.
No, I don't.
No, that's the way she would say it.
It took me a long time to say water. I learned.
Well, that's the way she would say it, though.
Come on, Luigi.
She would totally be saying
If she's in Xfinity Live after the game and she came up to you and did that,
I'll rechannel my inner Philly. Yeah. Let me get a lemon water ice and like this with it. All right? There you go. I want you to do me a favor, go fuck yourself. All right? Do that? Do that for me?
Forget about it.
Oh, man. Meanwhile, we got a lot of football news, too.
Tony, before we start football, the NFL segment, we need to give a major RIP to the fabulous Dick Butkus.
Oh, yes, Dick Butkus. I mean, we're talking about the Bears and the Bears suck and all the other stuff, but you got to give them credit. I mean, they played well last week. Luigi's on his Dick Tracy phone. Calling Dick Tracy. Who the hell's calling you during the show? Don't they realize that you're on an international...
I'm trying to silence this thing so Siri doesn't keep going off. So I'm trying to silence
Siri?
Go into another room and do it. We can hear you. Okay.
Was it a chick at least?
No.
Okay, I thought maybe that chick knew you were talking about her and she was trying to come over there and hook up for the night.
Fingers crossed, baby. Fingers crossed.
Tony, what is your favorite Dick Butka story?
Dick Butkus? Not Butka.
Butkus. I'm.
What is that noise?
I don't know. No. I'm not doing.
Is that you on your phone over there, Luigi?
I'm not doing anything.
Is that the EBS test that we had yesterday? The one at 2:30 in the afternoon, where everybody thought the world was going to end.
I got nothing, cuz.
All right. So anyway, we lost Dick Butkus yesterday, and there's no doubt in my mind that the Chicago Bears, when they went into Washington, obviously most of the players on the team had no idea who Dick Butkus was. They weren't alive. But you talk about one of the all-time great players. Not only a great player, but in the era when players were bigger than life. The shoulder pads were enormous. You saw number 50. You saw all those guys. And we're not talking about ancient history.
No.
We're talking about the 70s and 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? When even running backs had these gigantic pads.
Tony, speaking of running backs, real fast, and I know you're going to go into your whole diatribe about this.
No diatribe. I just wanted to pay respect.
No, it's a good thing.
And, of course, Tim Wakefield, another great pitcher who unfortunately passed away at the very young. Dick Butkus lived to 80. Tim Wakefield, the knuckleballer for the Boston Red Sox for all those years. Remember, he was there when they won the World Series and got off the schneid. And he passed away at like 56 or 57 years old from brain cancer.
I know.
So that's why I always say you got to just enjoy life every day. Nobody knows when we're going to go, how we're going to go. But, cancer and all these other diseases that snuff out lives all the time, that's why you have to enjoy yourself, man.
You try to as much as possible, right? You stay healthy, you try to enjoy your life and try to smile and be happy and do all those things. But when you hear about stuff like that, 58 years old, like
57.
57, young guy, man. I mean, come on. Like, it shouldn't be happening. The thing I wanted to mention about Dick Butkus was I heard this snippet of him being interviewed, and it was they asked about like how he became such like a ferocious tackler, and everybody was afraid of him, right? And he said because before he was a linebacker, he was a running back, and he used to get tackled by all these other guys who would snarl at him and do that. And he said, I used to hate that. I used to hate this. I used to hate that. And he said, I took everything I hated that they did, I put them all together and put them against everybody else. That's what he did.
And remember that era, too. That's when Dick Butkus and a lot of these bigger-than-life characters would go on and do movies and commercials. Remember the Miller Lite commercials with John Madden and those guys? Those were classics, man. Those were classics. And while there's a lot of stars now in all sports, remember, back then, people didn't know what these guys looked like without their helmets or shoulder pads. And so when guys broke out and became TV stars, whether it was baseball players or football players or NBA players, obviously, people recognize because they're not wearing any masks or headgear.
OJ was all over the place.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Superstar and one of the all-time great players.
Yeah.
But the White Bronco, I think, put a kibosh on that, and he wasn't running through airport Hertz terminals much after that, unfortunately.
He was.
But anyway.
He was just doing it faster. That was just the difference.
Yeah, and then Bob Uecker used to go on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson when he was still a player, and he started broadcasting. And remember, he did this deadpan routine, remember? Johnny Carson would ask him questions, and he would answer them deadpan. That's what made him just so amazing, Bob Uecker. And Bob Uecker became a legendary figure and still is in the Milwaukee area. Yeah, so these are the people that we honor and remember. because, there'll never be another Dick Butkus. There'll be great players, and there's great players now.
Sure.
Dick Butkus and that generation of guys, the purple people eaters with the Minnesota Vikings. You meet a lot of them, Carl Eller, and these guys who are still alive today. Players that we revered and watched. Well, they were ferocious, man.
It's because of the fact of like you got to talk generationally, right? So they were the guys who crawled so these other people could walk, type of thing. You know what I mean? Like when you look back and you see these photos of Butkus, right? It's Soldier Field and it's -7 degrees and the weather. You know what I mean? You look at Deacon Jones, and it's freezing with the purple people eaters, right?
Yep.
You don't see photos like that on the field now. Now you see heaters everywhere. Not to despise that or anything like that.
No, it's this modern day, modern day stuff.
It came from a different time. So when you look back and you look at those menacing photos of like, I don't know if I could have played back then, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
and they were playing on frozen dirt that they would paint to look like grass.
And half of them just got off work.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, those guys weren't making hundreds of millions of dollars, and it's the times. I get it. But no, Bob Uecker, all of these legendary players, we owe it all to them because they entertained us not only as athletes. Many of them were better after they were athletes. Bob Uecker wasn't a superstar player. He actually was drafted by the Phillies, if I'm not mistaken.
I loved him in Necessary Roughness. That was like one of my favorite.
He was great in everything. The major league movers with just a bit outside.
Yeah, that's the iconic Harry Doyle. I mean, but other people don't know that, Bob Uecker was American Gladiators before Thiesman.
Really?
Bob Uecker was supposed to be the original host of American Gladiators. And then he went on, he did Mr. Belvedere. He was there for a while doing Mr. Belvedere.
That's right. Yep.
And well, now I disagree with Play Action Reel about Jim Brown. Jim Brown was one of the greatest players ever, and then also became a great actor and was in so many films. Huh?
I don't know about great actor. He was great in Mars Attacks, but that's about it.
No, he wasn't. He was in a lot of great movies, Jim Brown.
Yeah, but he wasn't great, though.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
He was in it, but they weren't great.
He really wasn't. He really wasn't.
Wasn't he in The Magnificent Seven?
Let me just see.
Look up Jim Brown's history in movies and television,
Jim Brown,
man.
the horse? I don't think so, man.
Come on, man.
But
I'm looking at his IMDb. And
look up Jim Brown's.
That has nothing to do with his sports career. The guy was one of the greatest athletes.
Dirty Dozen he was in. He was in the Dirty Dozen.
That was a porn. That was a porn.
No, not that one. That wasn't the Dirty one.
That was a porn.
That was the Dirty Sanchez. That was a Hispanic film.
No, that was a baseball movie, Tony. The Dominican Republic.
I'm going all the way back.
That was
to
about
the
a minor league
beginning
team in the Dominican Republic.
He was in so many
Of course he
movies.
was.
Holy cow. So he was in bunches of them, but the first thing that you would know was the TV series I Spy.
Yeah.
He was in the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
Let me go up to
you know what?
Jim Brown retired early. Jim Brown is still the greatest to me. Not only I got to know him and he became a friend, and I would always have him on. I love Jim Brown. Jim Brown was a real trailblazer.
No wonder
not just on the field. He spoke up for players. He spoke up what was right. I mean, he did everything right, and he was also a great actor. Don't give me any of this bullshit, Luigi, about
he was not great.
But Tony, he wasn't nominated for anything. He was in a lot of those B movies, I Escaped from Devil's Island, and
I know that, but so what? So what?
Dude, that doesn't mean he was an actor. He wasn't a great actor.
So you think what's his name, Bautista, is a great actor?
Tony, if he's a great actor, I'm Daniel Day fucking Lewis, dude. I'm going to say that right now.
You think that Dave Bautista is a great actor?
No, he sucks. But here's what I'm saying. Question. Let's do this right now. Mount Rushmore time. Greatest athlete actors. No, this is good. This is good debate. Greatest athlete actors. This is a pretty good debate. You got to.
It is a good one, yeah.
Okay.
So let's go. You got to seriously look at body work. You ready? The Rock.
He's a good actor. He does a good job. Yeah.
But he's the same thing every time.
Yeah, he's the same character.
He's the same character.
Okay, he's got no range.
O.J. Simpson, even though
O.J. Simpson was one of the best comedic actors of all time.
He's fantastic. He was fantastic.
In the Naked Gun movies, he was phenomenal.
All right. Let's see here. Do you go Uecker? No, do you go Uecker?
Yeah, I think Bob Uecker was in a lot of really, really important movies and TV shows.
Yeah, because
even though he was the same character every time, was he really a good actor, or was he?
Who, Bob Uecker?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Uecker was playing himself.
Right.
But when he was on Johnny Carson, which made him famous, because let's be honest, no catchers other than Johnny Bench and those guys back in the day, when they got endorsement deals, for like Krylon paint, no runs, no hits, no error. All those guys who were stars of the Big Red Machine and the Dodgers back in the 80s, Don Sutton and all those guys, they all were on TV shows. But Mr. Belvedere was not just another TV show. I mean, it was like a #1 hit show.
Yeah, that was big time on ABC, brother. That was
absolutely.
Big time.
And so, again, Bob Uecker started out as a player who went on Johnny Carson. And if you go back and look at some of the old Johnny Carson tapes, he was deadpan. He would go out there and play it perfectly. He was sort of like the Stephen Wright of athletes.
I think I got to go. What about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for Airplane and for Bruce Lee?
Yeah, but he was good in an Airplane.
Yeah.
But that there wasn't a lot of like difficult dialogue. You know what I mean?
I know.
And who knows how many takes? And again, listen, Kareem's a genius. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a really bright guy. But I think the fact that he was able to play himself and be self-deprecating, that's what made it funny.
Okay, here, I just pulled up.
Merlin Olsen, that's right, another great one. Remember?
I just pulled up. These are on Google, actors and athletes who turned actors.
Yes.
So obviously Jim Brown is right up there. This is, I believe, no, it's not even.
Carl Weathers. I mean, Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers is fantastic. Rick Fox. Dave Bautista's up there. Burt Reynolds, he was an athlete.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Played at Florida State.
I think out of right now so far, Burt Reynolds, I think, is the best because he actually, as he got older, got to be an even better actor.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger was a bodybuilder. I mean, that's an athlete, but Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Universe, right?
Yep.
And he wasn't really a great actor. He just did good. The thing about Arnold that made him great is his, the lines, his iconic lines that became legendary, right?
Yeah, and he played
Terminated. And all that other stuff.
He played in some of the most ridiculous roles ever, like Conan, which showed him, like Conan the Barbarian, which showed like the physique of, like, you know what I mean, how big he was. And stuff
I'll be back. I mean, you talk about actors who have created the most iconic lines. Arnold's right up there, man. Arnold's
Jason
right up
Statham, what did he do?
Oh, he did all the turn. He did all the.
No. What athlete was he?
I think he was like a martial artist or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It's my boy, Jason Statham.
I mean, he's a really good actor too. He doesn't just play himself.
Gotta love Andre the Giant, Bo. Gotta love
Alex Karras was another great one. Remember Alex Karras, Detroit Lion great? He was in a lot of TV shows.
He was actually a good actor, I thought.
Yeah, he was. Merlin Olsen. What was his famous role, Merlin Olsen, from the Rams back in the day? Yeah. Father Murphy. Remember Father Murphy?
How about John Matuzak in the Goonies?
In the Goonies? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But those guys were just, there was all makeup and stuff. They all got parts because they were big names and they lived, a lot of them played in L.A. or played for the Rams or, were international stars.
Now it says here that Tony Danza was
Danza.
Well, he was the guard. He was the field goal kicking, garbage plicking Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, he was a boxer. Wasn't he a boxer?
Tony Dance.
Yeah,
Fred
that's right.
Dryer. Remember what series was Fred? What series was Fred Dryer
he was a cop. What did he play?
They still run those reruns.
Oh, they're really
Hunter.
Good. Hunter. That's
not
right.
Hunter Biden. He was the coke dealer who went to Fred Dryer and then got busted. And then he, of course, had the laptop and he started filming himself with young girls and prostitutes, and then became an international. Yeah, exactly. And don't forget Ben Davidson for Behind the Green Door.
Chuck Connors was an athlete.
The rifleman.
Chuck
Connors was drafted by the Phillies. Did you know that? The rifleman?
I did not, Tony. I did not. No, I did not.
It's a lot of good. Not Bud Dwyer. No, I think he went a different way. No, I don't know if you remember that, but that's sad. It's a guy who killed himself on live TV in Pennsylvania when he was caught doing some, political garbage. And then he pulls a gun out of a bag and blows his brains out on TV. Yes.
Really?
Yes, Bud Dwyer.
What year was this, Tony?
This is back in the early 80s, late 70s. I remember watching it on TV. It was a live news concert. News conference. He was involved in some shenanigans in Harrisburg. And then when they had a news conference, he gets up there and it's really shaky. And all of a sudden, he pulls a gun out of a paper bag. And everybody else, no, don't do it, Bud, don't do it. And he blows his own brains out.
Yeah, I'm not going to show it.
No, don't show it.
It's very disturbing, but it is out there. It's crazy that it actually happened on live TV. And that does not happen often with, usually they're able to catch it on time. The only other one that I remember after when I was researching Bud Dwyer for you one time, there was
I told you about Bud Dwyer.
I know, but and then I looked it up. But there was a female reporter that killed herself on the air as well, didn't she?
I don't remember, Robin. A lot of people, unfortunately, are killing themselves now more than ever because they're disgusted and they just lost the zest for life because they don't know what's going to happen with them. So anyway, enough about that. Let's get it back to the football, man, because we got week 5, Luigi. Week 5 of the National Football League. Come on, man. And we will have some tape for you in this segment featuring Travis Kelce and, of course, one of the greatest sound bites in NFL history. And it happened only 2 years ago, Luigi, and I'm sure you'll remember this. The New York Giants playing the New Orleans Saints October 2nd, 2021, 2 years ago, this week. Let's get to that one first, because I love this clip. Remember now, the Giants are playing the Saints. And it went to overtime. This is back when Donovan McNabb didn't know there was an overtime.
Right.
And so what do? They come out, the captains come out, and they flip the coin, right?
Yep.
And then the home team gets to make the decision, heads or tails. Right. And then as soon as they make the decision, and if they win the coin toss, the guy decides whether he wants the ball or wants to defer, right? So this is this is the greatest clip of all time, and it's one of those clips that you don't see. You got Jabril Peppers of the New York Giants. Isn't he still on the team? Or is he gone?
I do not know. They've dismantled that team, Tony, so I don't know.
I know they did. And they're going to get beat down again this weekend by the Miami Dolphins. But anyway, so Jabril Peppers is out there for the coin flip, and he wins it. And you'll watch. I think it was Malcolm Jenkins out there for the Saints, and Jabril Peppers obviously with the Giants. Watch the coin flip and watch and listen carefully as Jabril Peppers of the Giants realizes he won the toss. Let's go to the tape. He's now with he's with the Patriots now. Jabril Peppers. Go ahead. Let's run the tape.
And it is heads.
We want that motherfucker.
And it is heads.
Robin, keep it going, Robin.
One more time.
We want that motherfucker.
Yeah. He sees me. He calls it, I don't know if it was heads or tails. So what was this response? You know what he said? Boom! We want that motherfucker. We want that motherfucker.
That's great.
Play it one more time, Robin.
All right,
one more time.
One more time for those in the back.
And it is heads.
We want that motherfucker.
We want that motherfucker.
That's great.
And here's the best part of that.
They lost.
No, they went on and won the game 27-21. For all you New York football Giant fans, relish that moment, one of the great moments in New York Giant history, because there haven't been many since, and probably not many in the foreseeable future.
No, but at least they won that motherfucker. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I didn't want to use profanity, but he actually said that it was on live TV, man.
And speaking of that, though, too, by the way, speaking of the New York Gigantes, talk about a team in disarray, dude. Oh my God. That was everyone's little chic, little sexy pick of we're on the up and up. We're on the upswing. They signed
Danny Dimes, baby. And listen, I'm not, I don't root against players, even though I'm an Eagles fan. But the fact that what's happened to the Giants is really hard to believe. Everybody's talking about the Jets and they don't have a quarterback. And, Danny Dimes is not bad, but that team is messed up, man. And I don't know what's wrong with it. But did you see the numbers? This is one of those weeks in the NFL where so many point spreads have moved. There's a lot of money moving this week, and some of it's crazy. Some of my friends in the gambling community tell me that this is probably the craziest week of line movement leading up to games. And we don't have a game now until Sunday morning when the London Jaguars become the home team. They're the away team this year because of this week. Remember, they've been there now 2 full weeks in London, right?
You have to say it correctly now, though.
What?
Because now that they're in London, you have to Jaguar.
The London Jaguars.
Tony, but seriously, it has become like a tradition unlike any other with the Jaguars in London.
Jaguars,
dude.
man. And the NFL wants a team in Europe, right?
Oh, so bad.
And they're obviously the Jaguars. People love the Jaguars in London, not the Jag-Offs. They're playing, I think, where are the Jaguars playing right now?
Well, who do the Jets play this week?
Anyway, we want to thank Patty Perks checking in, and our good friend Gene Forsberg. And as you know, it's been a rough week for us. But we're okay now. But we lost one of our 3 cats. And, people who have animals, they become part of the family. You know this better than anybody, Luigi. When you have a pet, they become basically, your most devoted and loving companion, right?
Penny and I just celebrated 4 years together.
Exactly.
2 days yesterday. So it's like I didn't understand it until I got one, and now I get it. And
so Sir Lawrence, and even Joe Quills babysat him. He was the first litter that Lily, the mom that I got for Robin from Chicago when she saw the beautiful ragdoll kittens on a TV show, and then we went out and got Riddle, the dad. We were supposed to rent him for a weekend, just so come in and
poke around a little bit.
Have a glass of wine, wine and diner. And then do that 10-second thing where they put the thing in, and it's like because the cat penis is like a when you pull it out, it's like barbed, right? It's like barbed, man.
Yeah. That's my finishing move, by the way. I just put 10 seconds in. I call it the heat thermometer. Just got to check the temperature of the mouth. That's it.
So anyway, anytime you have to euthanize a pet, but the thing about Sir Lawrence, and you know this, Luigi, we found out a couple years ago that he was diabetic.
Yep.
Because he wasn't acting right, and he would always pee in the litter box, but he would never poop in the litter box.
Nope.
So he had some peculiar habits, but you still loved him, and he would never pee on carpets or he never peed anywhere except in the litter box.
The only reason he had that issue was because it took us so long to figure out what his illness was, and he was dehydrated, so he was constipated,
Yep.
and he associated the litter box with pain.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that was his little quirky thing. And thank goodness he only did it on tile, and it was easy to clean up, and it was fine. As long as the pee was in the litter box, we were good.
Exactly.
And he was the most snuggly, wonderful cat.
And he was a mama's boy. I mean, he would sleep on Robin every night. He wouldn't come to me, but I still loved him, and I would try to hold him, and he would go right to Robin, and that's great. And he and his son, his dad, they were real close. They'd rub heads together.
Yeah,
and so we went a couple weeks ago, and Robin took him in first, and they said he had an enlarged bladder, but it wasn't normal because if you have liquid around your bladder, around your heart, that means there's something wrong.
Yep.
So then the vet said, you know what, we could send out a sample of the liquid to see, because normally in this case, I think it's shown that kind of a condition where the stomach gets distended, that's usually heart related. So we paid for the test. I wanted to make sure, we weren't going to put him down.
They gave us a diuretic to help the liquid in his abdomen go down, and he was looking a lot better. And then for the first couple of days, when his stomach wasn't quite as tight and distended, and then the test came back showing that he had a horrible cancer. And when he started to take another turn for the worse, over the weekend, I told Tony, I said, I think.
And we knew it because he would go into the corner of our bedroom and look at the wall and not come out and walk around. So you knew he was in that stage.
He was trying to isolate himself.
Yeah.
And
he was 9 years old. I mean, so that's not old for a cat.
But on Monday, I knew it was time when, because I could just touch him and he would start purring. I mean, he just loved to be massaged and pet. I went over and I was petting him in all his favorite places, and he didn't even purr.
Yeah.
And I said, it's time. Yeah. This is not fair to him.
And it's horrible, and we had him cremated, and we're going to get the ashes and I don't know what we're going to do with them, but I wanted to have the ashes. Because I used to, when I would have cats before dogs, I would bury them in my backyard. A lot of people do that, right?
You know what you should do with them?
What?
With some of them, you should get a couple of those those gold cat balls and put them around Riddle and Lily's neck too.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Aw, that's
you know what I mean, Robin?
Idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except they don't normally. Only Riddle wears a collar because we have to.
Well, then it's going to change, Robin.
Anyway, we appreciate all the sympathy, but people say, well, why are you getting all upset? We were upset for a day. Now, obviously,
No, I'm still I can't really talk about it.
You should be.
Kevin Howell says, he had to euthanize one of his racehorses last week. So Scrapple Joe had, lost his Frenchie last year. His name was Bruno. So obviously people lose pets and they become part of your family.
Dude,
there's people who abuse pets and, and then go get a kitten or a dog for their kids for Christmas, and then they lose patience and then just let it go. Those are the real scumbags of the world. Don't get a pet unless you plan on making it part of your family. Like the White House. They got a German Shepherd, and you would think they would have access to the best trainers on earth. And then this poor German Shepherd, was he a Malinois or was he a German Shepherd?
He was a full-bred German Shepherd. And by the way, there was a video, I don't know if you saw it, there was a video today of Biden coming off of the helicopter.
He didn't kick him. No, he got his legs tangled up. I don't want to be fake news, Robin. He had the dog coming out of the helicopter on a leash, and the dog was running around, and then it ran around Biden's leg, and then he almost tripped him. And so Biden didn't kick him. He didn't kick the dog. The bottom line, the problem I have is it took like 24 bites of Secret Service and people in the White House before they realized that they had to take the dog out of there. I don't know what they did with it. I don't think they euthanized him. But how do you not have a trainer in the White House when you have a dog that's been biting Secret Service agents and people working in there?
What does that say about his treatment, that he is like that? I mean, there's something wrong.
The problem is because after 2 weeks of training, the dog will be more qualified to be president.
Oh, now come on. Now, I didn't want to make this about politics, but
we shouldn't.
We talk about animals. When you have an animal and you are the president of the United States, or no matter who you are, you have access to the best trainers. How hard is it to get somebody in and train your German Shepherd when you're not there? I get that he has to travel and all this other stuff. That's just ridiculous, man. That's just ridiculous. And again, I don't want to pick on Biden. I mean, we already know what's going on with him. But the bottom line is you must have a trainer when you have a dog that is really an outside dog. The German Shepherds don't like to be confined. Like in Philly where you have row homes. Big dogs need to run. They need to eat. I think hungry dogs need to eat. I think the Philadelphia Eagles made that happen a couple of years ago, right? Yep, hungry dogs need to eat.
They did, but my thing is though, if you keep saying trainer, my legs are shaking under the table right now, going trainer, like
trainer.
Every 2 seconds, dude.
So anyway, that's what. Take care of your pets. If you get an animal, just make sure you have it trained. A lot of people who buy pets, like my son when he got his dog, they had him trained before he was delivered to them. The red lab. It was a European lab with the big wide jaw, right?
Yep.
And they had the dog trained by the trainer, the person who was the breeder, and that dog was perfectly trained when she got to the house. And again, you pay extra for that, but if you don't have time to train a dog, don't get big breeds or big dogs that need to go out and need to have attention.
Yeah, I
really simple.
I called an escort service. It was a fortune to have it trained before it got freaking, but it was worth it. It was worth it. She stayed stayed off the carpet. It was nice.
And in his head. We want that motherfucker.
That's what they said when they got the dog.
Hey, Tony Bruno.
When you get a dog, you're not getting a dog. You're not getting a cat. You're not getting you're getting a responsibility. You have a responsibility.
Exactly.
That's what it is, man.
Exactly. Even if it's a hamster. Unless you're Jerry Penacoli or some of these other people, you're going to use that for other entertainment purposes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that
there's anything wrong with it.
But yes, a pet.
But if you go to the emergency ward and there's a tail sticking out there, then you've done the wrong thing.
But a pet is not just a whim, and it's for the rest of that animal's life. You have to be prepared.
Exactly.
So
I told Pam, I said, I hope I go before she does. I'm not even kidding. I don't think I can handle it. I really don't. I have no idea if I can handle it.
Try not a hamster. It's a gerbil. Thank you, John B.
Tony,
don't get confused with hamsters and gerbils.
Yeah, there's levels.
Gerbils are the right size. Hamsters are a little too large, depending on how many other things you have inserted into various orifices.
That's not true, Tony. It's like anal beads. You go up in size. What? I'm sorry.
Okay. Boys, what? I need to interrupt you for a second.
Well, Robin, stop interrupting. We got a show. We're doing a show here.
I need to interrupt you because you both are going to have to start getting used to me going to commercial breaks. So I'm just going to remind, this is yes.
Well, so when we kick off the new Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Tony Bruno Sports Network, we need to be going to commercial breaks. So, for example, this would be a commercial break. Okay. And then it would have like a minute.
Is that the 2-minute warning, or is that timeout on the? Is that a 30-second timeout or a full timeout?
Is that a vuvuzela?
Let's just pretend this was a commercial break.
That's not a vuvuzela. Come on, man. Anyway, so.
Yes. So for those of you who have not heard yet, starting shortly.
Is this the official announcement?
Well, no, I mean,
this is Robin doing housekeeping.
I'm doing housekeeping. We are going to be
housekeeping. Oh, I thought I heard the washer on today.
Washer.
Someday, within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yes.
You will be able to start listening to not only Tony Bruno 5 days a week, but several other hosts to be named. We some of them we can't name yet because they're leaving elsewhere.
TBD.
They are TBD. But you will be able to start listening to the Tony Bruno Sports Network 24/7 with live programming starting at 7 a.m.
Goddamn.
all the way through to 8 p.m.
Live, local, and late breaking. The station of the people.
Live.
That's 13 hours of programming, and Tony's birthday is the 13th. Coincidence? I think
not.
No. I'm ready to go 24/7 if that's what the audience wants.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give the people what they want, man.
He's ready to go away forever, 24/7.
So the exciting part is that
been in the making for years.
The TBSN Sports app, the network app, is being built as we speak. But even if you look, Tony Bruno Sports Network right now,
you can find it
Live 365.
No.
They're playing old shows.
They are. I can hear it right now.
Yeah, you can like.
Can you go to it right now? I want to hear what they're running.
Am I getting residuals? What's going on?
I don't know. You may make an appearance. You know, normally we have the great official archivist of the show, Jim from Cheltenham. Yeah. But it's not my birthday yet, Gene. It's in June.
It's in June 13th.
June 13th.
Yeah.
The original Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see if I can find it.
It's not on No Filter. It's on a separate website.
Right.
So obviously we'll continue doing our No Filter shows, but the daytime shows will be available because it's internet radio, and it's going to be the Tony Bruno Sports Network, and then you'll be able to log, like I'm on Big Mama Radio every Thursday morning here on the app, and what happens? You get to listen to my Stone Cold Locks. One of the more entertaining. It's called what is it called? What do they call it? Does Big Mama call it?
Stone Cold Locks.
No. That's what I do with Philly Godfather on Sundays here on No Filter.
What does he call it? He calls it
completely inappropriate sports report.
Inappropriate sports report.
No, the completely inappropriate sports report.
It's pretty funny.
Not the ambiguously gay sports. Remember this when Saturday Night Live did that thing? What was it? The ambiguously gay couple. Back when you could do that stuff and the whole world didn't go crazy, when you can just have fun.
Oh my God, that was so good. That was so
Remember that bit? Was it ambiguously or unambiguously?
I don't know. Ambiguously. I think it was ambiguously good.
Robin's going to find. Can we find a clip?
Let's see. Here, I have computers and television screens with real-time.
This is live now.
Selling each
it's
share
on
as
tape.
it goes across. I have a hockey game on, and I have CNBC on. Plus, I have Tony's Twitch show on and the schmucks can't do Twitter and your show at the same time. It is a disgrace.
I'm going to denounce these people publicly. I'm going to call them out. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who's watching hockey?
Jose!
Dean.
There's hockey on right now. Oh, there's a European.
You know what Dean's doing right now?
What's he doing right now, Jose?
He's watching hockey action, yo.
Yeah, wait a minute. Are we live right now?
So that is live on Live 365.
Yeah, if you want to hear me 24/7 right now.
I swear to God, I thought Jose was on the phone.
No, that was Memorex.
I'm sorry.
So that is an old show. I had about 50 hours of
50 hours. You want to sit around at night and then just get out the Jergens lotion. Maybe you're lonely. It's after midnight. You don't have any. By the way, we have no cocktails tonight, right? What are you drinking, Luigi? That looks like a light liquid tonight.
That's scotch and soda, buddy.
What kind of scotch is that, man? It looks kind of like low rent scotch, bro.
No, it ain't low rent, buddy. That's what I read.
What do you got there?
I can get something if you would like, Tony Bruno. But
yeah, we just went out and bought more vodka.
So just to let people know, that Live 365 is just old tapes that are being rerun right now. But there is going to be an app. There's going to be a TBSN, a Tony Bruno Sports Network.
So you can take it everywhere.
That you can download onto your Android and iPhone.
Everywhere
it's available. Will be available on both, and that should be up shortly. As soon as that is up, and the equipment, we're there in the new studio almost every day.
We got the stuff set up, Luigi. You got to see. You got to see the bar. We got a bar, man.
Oh, well, you showed me where the bar was supposed to be. But I didn't
The
know you
bar
had
is set up, and now Robin was sanding it the other day. We're going to stain it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You going to put a nice varnish on it?
Put a little varnish on it, yeah. Little design on that. We'll get some lighting in the studio. It's going to be awesome, man.
Yeah.
By the way, Kevin Howe says Harvard is leading Cornell in the Ivy League tonight. A lot of smart people up there, but nobody cares about Ivy League football.
Yeah, okay. It's funny is that
available for smart TVs, Robin. Matt Raposo out there in Livermore wants to know in the Bay Area.
Actually, that is something that I'm working on as well, with no filter to make but I don't know if it'll be available immediately. The audio.
What was that you just said? I love how you talk sometimes. Like, that is something I'm willing to. Yes.
Yes. I don't know, but yes.
Aren't you inside my head? Can't you hear what I just thought?
I know what the whole sentence was, but you missed 4 words.
Don Juan 2024 says you can only watch Harvard and Cornell on a smart TV. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, the fans aren't watching, Tony. They're studying the game.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think Fitzmagic goes out there at halftime and gets into that stupid costume and says, "It's Fitzmagic."
Yeah, but they're the only 2 teams playing right now. As soon as they walk out of the stadium, they're all making 6 figures. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Except for the one who got the liberal arts degree. Except for that one. What am I supposed to do?
Florida update tonight that you're going to love, Luigi.
What?
We're going to have a Ozempic update tonight.
Ozempic?
Ozempic. Not only is Ozempic helping people lose weight, now there's a report that this isn't the update, but I see even Elon Musk was chiming in because Ozempic is now being blamed by Walmart for causing people to not buy food. I would think that the recession and the fact that people can't afford food is probably why they're not buying food. Yeah. They look at the prices and they look at the price of a steak and they're saying, I'd rather take Ozempic. Now, listen, I'm not an Ozempic fan. I think we don't know the long-term effects of this, so we didn't do it.
Well,
but we know the short-term effect of the price cost.
The doctor wouldn't prescribe it for us. I would have totally done it.
I wouldn't take it.
I would.
Well, I wouldn't because I'm 72. I'm 71.
That's my point. Like, if
20 years from now, all these people's organs are going to fall off.
I don't have Ozempic, but if anybody out there in Bruno Nation needs Adderall, I got a shit ton of it back here in the bedroom. I'm not gonna lie.
Do, man?
I know it's a short.
What's the street value right now, man?
It's $1 a milligram. So I got 25 milligram extended release. Here's the deal. There's a shortage. I'm not saying it's to be a dickhead either. There's a shortage. So if anybody out there actually needs it and can't get it, let me know and I'll figure out a way to meet up.
How many you got? How many tabs? How many you got?
How many?
Yeah.
North of like 400 pills.
Holy.
You know, if the FBI's listening tonight and the Biden DOJ hears that, there's going to be a raid on your house tonight. They're going to come in with battering rams. They'll drive one of those four-wheelers right through your house.
I don't know, Tony, Luigi, because let's just go to Florida story for a second.
Well, hang on a second. I just want to say, I want to see how they're going to do that with all the ATVs blocking the street on Broad Street. To get down there.
I think we should go to Florida and
that transitions in perfectly to our Florida updates. And remember, kids, don't do drugs, especially if they can mess you up. Now, I'm not talking about Ozempic. You can do whatever you want. It's legal. If you want to do that, go right ahead. Just make sure you need a prescription. Is there any knockoff Ozempic out there? Is there a street Ozempic?
There's like a...
it's called Ovechkin. You don't want that one.
Ovechkin?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to help you lose weight, but it'll get you drunk. You know what I'm saying?
What are you, fucking stupid?
No, it's just called...
Yes, I am.
You know, the artificial one's called meth. That's right.
Let's go to Florida.
Let's go. This is an unbelievable Florida update. You're not hearing this anywhere else. I'm telling you that right now.
I believe that. I seriously believe that.
Oh, man. What are you doing, Robin? You playing with my machine?
I'm trying to find it for you because you're taking so long to actually find it.
I think Scrapple Joe was saying something about legal as far as my Adderall. Like, yes, it's legal.
It's legal Adderall.
I have so much of it that I never took any of it. That if anybody is, if you need it, if you had a script and you can't get it, you're on back order. And somebody needs it. Like,
how much? What can I get for $5?
Tony Bruno.
Anything you want.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything I want.
I call them cannolis, Tony. I'm moving cannolis. That's what I call it.
It's right there. On the
I
top.
know where it is, Robin. Let me pause so that we can start.
Oh, okay.
The proper.
Let me pause
thought you were
so
still
we
looking.
can start.
Down to Florida.
At the song?
Welcome you
Absolutely,
to
it's the best
Sunshine
song for
State.
this.
I mean, it's the
Kicking back and soaking
Up the rays every day in Florida.
Let's
Let's go to Central Florida, not too far from right here in Southwest Florida, where the temperature now is dipping into the 60s. The dew point is lower. The humidity is starting to go away, and everybody's heading down here. And if you need any pills, not Luigi's amphetamines, but this dude who was the face of the Villages. Now, you've heard of the Villages, right, Luigi?
No, I haven't.
That's one of those senior living places where these people screw like minks at the middle of the night. Not the Village people, no.
It is a huge. I thought it was just like
Screw
like a
like
small
minks.
development.
It's like where grandma and grandpa go to bang each other's brains out.
But it is, and it has like a swingers community.
Oh, yeah.
and
So we're
I mean,
talking like Cialis Central is what you're
But
saying,
it's
right?
but it's like the size of Philadelphia. I mean, it's huge.
No ATVs.
Really?
They do ride golf carts,
yeah.
though. No ATVs, but they get the golf carts, and when they're really hepped up, they have those they let the front of the golf cart jump up.
So
when they
is this like
floor
is this the real like Blue Lagoon, basically?
So let's go to the update desk. Miss Robin, with this unbelievable story about a poor guy falling upon hard times as an old man. Let's go to your dick pill correspondent, Miss Robin.
Let's go to the Villages and Reginald, a.k.a. Reggie Kinser.
Kinser?
Like Luigi, had
now he has a lot of pills. He's got pills. You get a Viagra. You get a Viagra.
He had been accumulating some erectile dysfunctional products.
Which one was Cialis? That's the short term, the long-lasting ones.
Well, let me tell you, Tony.
Okay,
Bruno,
tell me.
He had Snovitra, which I've never heard of.
What's it called?
Snovitra.
Snovitra.
Never heard of that.
Is that some chick from Minnesota comes down here? Some chick from Minnesota's freezing her ass off, comes down here, and she gets up on the picnic table, and he bangs her. Snovitra to you, baby. Bam!
He also had Velitra.
Velitra.
Also never heard of that. And Camagra oral jelly.
Ooh. Isn't she the vice president?
I don't know. All three of these I have never heard of.
Is this knockoff shit? Is this from China?
These were he had bought all of these.
Where?
But then he intended to sell them. China.
Where the hell do you get all these Vitra
I don't know.
things?
But he intended to sell them both locally and outside the Sunshine State.
Oh, man. You got to be international. If you're going to be peddling dick pills, forget about hims and hers and all these WebMD and all.
If you're going to be in there, you got to be out there. You know what I'm saying?
You got to exactly.
First of all, I want you to see this.
Is he doing hard time for this? I mean, did they arrest him?
Well, he's doing hard something, that's for sure. Look at his face. He looks very
Let
happy.
me see this dude.
He looks
You
very
put him up on the screen. I want to see Reggie.
You want bigger?
Oh, look at that smile.
Let me make it bigger.
Talk
for
about
you.
a guy who's had he's had an erection He's had an erection that lasts 4 weeks, and that's the look when you have an erection that lasts.
He looks like Wilford Brimley without diabetes.
Dude, no wonder why he's happy. He's banging everything that moves in the Villages.
He's also trying to make everybody else happy, apparently, because he was trying to sell over $1,800 worth of black market erectile dysfunction.
What do I get for $1,800?
The Snovitra, the Villitra.
You get the whole package? Do you get? You know the dosage?
Here's the funny part. This guy, Reggie, and his wife, Anne, were featured in a 2021 film about the Villages called Some Kind of Heaven.
Ooh,
There was actually a spinoff called Let Me Get This Straight.
Yeah, when you knock on their door, this is what you hear.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
No.
Reggie, that's right.
I know. In the video, I'm not going to play the video, but his wife Anne can be heard saying the Villages have.
I want to hear the video.
Have given Reggie.
I may have to make a little side trip over to the Villages.
An opportunity.
Side trip, make it a permanent residence.
In different ways. See, you're totally stopping.
That's
on my
Luigi.
line.
Yell at him.
What?
That was actually funny.
Go ahead.
So the wife was heard to say in the video, the Villages have given Reggie an opportunity to grow in different ways.
Ooh, yeah, baby, yeah.
Has he extended his reach, Rob, in the community?
I don't know. Here, I will play a little bit of the YouTube video.
Now even Donald Trump's getting aroused. Hang on.
Once it was
here.
reluctantly aroused, it was hard to get it aroused.
Until he saw Reggie.
Yeah, here we go.
Thank you, 45. I appreciate that. Thank you. What is this?
This is her.
Ways.
Oh, there's others.
Go away.
Oh, this fucking guy.
This is Reggie.
This is Reggie. What the hell are you doing,
doggy
Reggie?
style?
I don't know.
When we got married, he really was not so unique.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I want to see this video. Look at Reggie.
That kind of developed.
Is he sporting a Woodrow?
Now, the
Tony,
Villages...
Wait a minute. I want to see this. Listen to this guy.
I know.
Watch this.
My whole training is about ending my life.
That's good for your core.
Smile on my face.
Yeah.
Well, he has a smile on his face.
I hear you,
What
baby.
the hell are you
he's training
doing,
to blow
Reggie?
himself. He's training to blow himself.
How old's Reggie? 77?
77. Well, so
Wait a minute. I want to hear more of this man.
we can watch it after. The Villages is also nicknamed God's Waiting Room. And Kinser, Reggie, is no stranger to a pair of handcuffs.
Dude, there he is. He's popping a couple right there.
Yeah, what is he popping?
Do we see the boner in this video, or is this?
All I'm saying,
why is
all
this video so dark?
I got to get in business with this guy because my Adderall connection.
Oh yeah, you can
kill him, dude.
You guys could be international drug dealers.
Yeah,
man.
seriously, it'll be called Up All Night, Tony.
Up all night, baby.
That's it, man. I'm telling you. I got to get into this marketing game. Dude.
That's a great. There's an opportunity right now. Merchandising, Robin. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, Tony. We can call it ADH Dick. There you go.
Can you imagine if you put together Viagra and Adderall in a one pill?
You talk about a toxic
Holy
cocktail.
Guacamole, Bob, man.
That's a cocktail for sure.
Yeah, it's a concentrated dose, Tony.
This is the greatest story of the year.
It really is.
Is it not? Oh my God.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
You know what this is, Luigi? We're all trying to find ways to make ends meet these days. Times are tough out there.
I hear you, baby. I hear you.
But you know what we need?
What do we need?
Merchandising.
That's where it's at. It's after the movie. That's where it's at, Tony.
Viagra and Vicodin. They call it the Vegas cocktail.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I got it.
What do you got?
I got the T-shirt. You ready?
I like the live brainstorming.
Viagra.
You don't get this on other shows.
Tony.
Brainstorming sessions.
Tony, the Viagra and the Adderall. Ready?
Yeah.
On the up and up. There it is. There it is, dude. Done.
Your brain is up. You're up here and you're up down there. Up here and up there. Down there and up here.
That's it.
That's great, man. You're not getting shit anywhere else, man.
No, absolutely not. It's the easiest thing. We'll keep you hard, but you can still get shit done that you forgot to do around the house.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
Then when she says, Reggie, let's do it again.
He's like, all right, I'm ready.
All right. You can be plugging your wife and the drain at the same time. It's amazing.
Shit, I gotta move. I gotta go up there. I gotta get into business with this Reggie.
I'll tell you what, Tony. There's a Velo fly down to the Villages because I'm going down.
I'm forget going to the studio. I'm going to the Villages tomorrow, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Driving
How
over
far
there.
away is it?
What's that?
How far away the Villages?
It's like near Orlando, right? It's right near Orlando.
Yeah.
Tony,
I'll go over there, go over the Universal, ride a couple of coasters.
It's north of Orlando, about 40
Yeah,
miles
but doesn't
north of Orlando.
a Velo flies there now, right? Can't we go?
We may have to jump on and get a $29 Avello nonstop to Orlando, and then rent a car and go see Reggie.
I do have to look
Reggie. Make sure you ask for Reggie.
Reggie.
Kamagra
Forget
oral
about
jelly.
Forget Reggie Jackson. This guy's the real Mr. October now.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Talking about laying the wood. That guy's been laying the wood.
What the hell is Kamagra oral jelly?
I think that's what the vice president uses when, what's his name, Willie Brown, the former mayor of San Francisco, is about to go deep in that baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not Mr. October, Mr. Cocktober. Thank you, Matt Raposo. Not Mr. Locktober, Mr. Cocktober. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta get a hold of Reggie. We're sitting on a fucking gold mine. I
agree, man. You got like 400 Vicodins, not Vicodins. What are they?
Adderalls,
that's right. I got some Vicodins. I got some pills that I haven't used. I got vitamin D, super high potency.
No, Reggie's got plenty of vitamin D. That's all Reggie's got.
For those of you who want to know,
Excuse me while I whip.
Kamagra oral jelly comes from India. And you have different
Wait,
flavors.
India with the dot or the feathers?
That's dots, not feathers, Tony.
Oh, dots,
Yeah.
not feathers. Okay.
They have several flavored Kamagra oral jelly packs, including orange, vanilla, and chocolate.
Oh, that's probably not going to curry any favor with anybody around here.
As long as it doesn't have any of that stinking curry in it.
Yeah, we'll have none of that. Yeah, we'll have none
curry,
of that.
man. Don't curry me any favors, bro.
That's right. We'll have none of that. You know?
Dude, how do you just pop it in your mouth? Ugh.
It's a gel. What is it? A gel coat?
It's like a Jello shot.
Dude.
What are you gonna do? What do you put it on sourdough? What the fuck?
No, you just pop it in your mouth.
Eventually, you might down there with the clientele.
Our buddy AJ Lopez joining us here, and I think he's one of those guys who's looking for investment opportunities.
Always.
We have spawned a new opportunity here because people have a lot of, and I'm not saying that people should take drugs that they're not prescribed, but if you're a dude and you see all these ads for Hims, and that you can get pills delivered to your home discreetly. I mean, you can buy dick pills anywhere now, right? You don't need a prescription. Just say, hey, I need some dick pills, and then you pay $20 a piece for them, which is an outrage because a condom's only $1, and you need that so you hopefully don't make somebody pregnant. But if you want to get it hard, you got to pay $20 just for one erection. It's an outrage.
It is an outrage because sex is important.
Damn right it is.
If you are sexually active, you still feel alive. If you're not sexually active anymore, you're
exactly.
You feel like
I agree. They should be at every 7-Eleven counter right there with the pickled eggs. The big jar of eggs that they have at 7-Eleven, and all of that other stuff. And the what is it called? Kratom, Kratom, Kratom. What is that called?
Kratom. But I think sex is important enough that it really should be included in insurance. You shouldn't.
I
have
totally
to pay for
agree.
it. Yeah.
Luckily, I don't need any of these narcotics. But a man who also doesn't need narcotics, and he's ready tonight, the official archivist. Now, Jim, have you heard that the Tony Bruno channel is now on 24/7?
Well,
just random
I
shit.
was not going to come on tonight, but by accident I found it's an app called Live 365.
Live 365.
There's an app for it. There is an app for it. You go on your phone, you hit 365 in the app section. You'll take it to the site, and when you get to the site, it'll say shows right in Tony Bruno, and you're right there.
Boom.
Yeah.
And you can go there right. You get up at 2:00 in the morning in a cold sweat.
Yeah, I was just there last night.
Right.
Now that
you hear Jose, you hear.
You can download the
Luigi's on there one night. He was on one night.
Let him finish. Okay. Go ahead, Jim.
Luigi was on one night. That other night he was on.
Luigi was on, so you've been listening to it then?
Yeah, but it's great. Yeah, I just
7 years of work.
I had to do my computer at night, and I.
Now, just so that you know,
on your computer or your phone, you can pick it up. You can't pick it on the smart TV right now, but you can pick it up on the phone or the computer.
Now, the Live 365 app that you can listen to it on now, that is not the same app that will be released. That will be
I understand
solely
that.
to TBSN, but
for the time being, it's there for everybody.
Right. Hey, Jim, real fast before you get to whatever audio you're going to grace us with tonight, did you hear by any chance there's a guy named Reggie down at the Village is selling dick pills? Did you hear about that yet?
That was our Florida update. It may be the greatest story we've ever done.
Listen, you should look into it. It'll keep you up all night, pal.
You know what Reggie's saying right about now? It's like 8:30 down up at the Villages. Time to get frisky.
Excuse me while I whip this house.
Yes. Yes. Now, you ready for the Phillies? Now, let's be honest, Reg. You got to be. I know, Jim, you're a big baseball. You're a sports fan.
Wow.
But the Phillies, are you ready for this tomorrow?
This is not just us looking for it, but I think all the baseball fans around the country are in for a big treat because these two are two evenly matched teams. It can go either way. But if you're a Phillies fan, you hope some way, somehow we get to Game 5. If we get to Game 5, I think the Phillies will win Game 5 because Wheeler is locked in right now.
Oh, yeah.
The best he's pitched in his whole career.
No doubt about it. That Game 1 performance was a mess. That's pitching. You know, this guy's go up there can throw it 100, but everything he threw it exactly where he wanted to throw it.
Didn't it look like he literally cruised the entire way? Like he was you saw an ace in absolute control of his craft that night.
Absolutely. It was. And by the way, do you realize what happened on this day in 2011 or 10?
And that was a no hitter by Halladay.
Roy Halladay's no-hitter against the Cincinnati Reds. It was on this date. Was it 2011?
Mm-hmm.
2010.
2010. So it's 13 years ago today. Roy Halladay threw that no-hitter.
What's crazy is about that too is that for the longest time, right? Roy Halladay is there. He's in Toronto, and you remember the games. He'd go into he'd lose 1-0 games in the 11th inning, and he'd lose in the 11th inning, right? Yeah. And he was never in the playoffs. Everybody said, wait till this guy gets in the playoffs. He's going to be a monster. See what happens. First game in the playoffs, it throws a no-no.
I
in
know,
his
that was
first
amazing.
ever playoff start. It was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible, man.
I remember like it was yesterday. I mean, that's how fast time flies. Time flies. And then unfortunately he has he goes out there with his, what do you call it? It's an experimental plane over water, and then his life ends that way.
And unfortunately, the next series they lost to San Francisco. San Francisco just ran into a hot San Francisco team who was the last team to make the playoffs that year, and they beat the Phillies in 6 games.
And I remember being out there because I was working in San Francisco, and I would go out to the games at with Pac Bell Park, whatever they were calling it now. It's AT&T or whatever they're calling it right now. But AJ Lopez makes a great point. 2 of the teams in there, where I talked about the teams that have been around a while. The Phillies have a lot of playoff experience. Obviously, the Baltimore Orioles don't. The Texas Rangers don't. Minnesota doesn't. So those are 3 teams right there that are in this divisional round that obviously haven't been here in a long, long time. But the Phillies and the Dodgers and the Braves, these teams have been there. And Houston, obviously, the Houston Astros are the world champs. So Orioles and Rangers, he makes a good point. I talked about this before. Both of these teams, the Texas Rangers and the Baltimore Orioles, lost 100 games or more just a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And the Diamondbacks lost over 100 not that long ago. So in baseball, if you draft well and you get some key players, you can make the postseason, especially with the wild cards. Now, the wild card, a lot of people hated it, but the wild card has kept baseball interesting into October for the first time ever. Right? Most people would say, it's over. September. Let's focus on football. Forget about baseball till the playoffs come. The playoffs start immediately. So I think baseball did the smart thing, and even with the DH. And I hated the DH in the National League, but I think the DH has worked. I think this the strike zone thing has worked. The umpires miss a couple here and there, but for the most part, they've been okay. And which umpire is going to give you. An extended strike zone, which ones are not. So, to me, this has been an exciting season, not just because the Phillies are in it, but because teams like the Diamondbacks and teams like, even though the Rays got in, they were quickly out of it, but, the Cubs were in it for a long. So, a lot of cities were actually still interested in baseball until the beginning of October. It's unbelievable.
And the Rays are a disgrace. When you get 19,000 for a playoff game, that is just total disgrace.
I don't blame the teams. I blame the fan base.
Baseball.
But what do you want from them? What do you expect a city like Tampa?
What I think should happen, I think it will happen. I think they'll move to Orlando. That's the best place they can play.
But do you even think, Jim? Honestly, do you even feel for a second that that's going to do anything? Because nobody cares.
Orlando is I think Orlando will because Orlando. Tourist-wise, it's the number 1 city in our. They get more tourists than Vegas.
So you're gonna
Disney World and Busch Gardens and SeaWorld. It would work in Orlando. It would work. It's not going to work in St. Pete. No way.
No, and it won't work in Tampa either. You know, the Yankees draw well for spring training because the snowbirds come down. You know, the Phillies are in Clearwater. All these teams down there. I mentioned we went to the Twins games and saw the Twins this year in spring training here at their facility right near us. And so would Orlando be better? You're right, Jim, about the Vegas connection. Because let's be honest, Vegas didn't have any sports teams until a couple of years ago. Then they get football. Then they get, they got a WNBA team that's great. The hockey team is great. Every team that's gone to Vegas, professional sports team, has been great out of the gate. It's unbelievable.
I bet you they knew that, Tony.
Oh, okay. But Orlando is. You're right. Orlando. The Braves were training there at the worldwide World of Sports complex for years in Orlando because they knew people would go out and watch them. Not Tony Orlando. I think he and Dawn. Are they still together? Is Dawn still alive?
Tony and Dawn Orlando? I don't know, Tony.
No, Tony Orlando and Dawn. They're no relation.
Not Orlando.
He banged both of them. And wouldn't you think he banged?
Pat Williams is trying to get a team there. He's trying to build this beautiful stadium out there. Pat Williams is in charge of trying to get the team in Orlando.
Oh, Pat's now involved with the baseball project to get Major League Baseball in Orlando?
Yeah. The only way they can get a team is they have to move there because baseball is not going to have 3 teams in Florida.
Yeah, I hear Reggie's got a bid in to be a part owner of there.
Yeah, he's going to play hardball with the Major League.
It's Big Stick Park. That's what it's called.
Yeah, we know. I mean, let's be honest, Jim. Tampa Bay, their hockey team has been the most consistently solid team for decades. And obviously the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been up and down, but they won a Super Bowl. They don't have problems drawing people for football because Florida's a football. Whether it's college football. Florida is one of those states where they have college and pro football that matter. In some states like Pennsylvania, Penn State and Pitt, those schools, obviously, Penn State's really good and they're out in the middle of nowhere. But the Philly area is not really a college football hotbed.
No, it's not.
It's a pro sports area. But here in Florida, it's a combination of pro sports and college sports. So that's why these people love football.
Yeah, but when you have teams like the U, Florida State, Florida, USF, like teams like that. I mean, they overwhelm the pro teams except for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and the Dolphins are good, and obviously they're and they're. By the way, AJ Lopez says this debate is about as interesting as Great Taste, Less Philly. Well, pal, you showed up late. You missed the Great Dick debate. Right. The Great Dick debate has already happened, man. You jumped in too late, bro.
You can't come in here half cocked, pal. You come in at the end of the tail end of the program, and you start talking shit. Come on, get out of here.
I love when people said program. Remember that?
That's old school. That's Yinzer for you right there.
Program. Yeah, we already said rest in peace to Dick Butkus and Tim Wakefield and our cat, Sir Lawrence. I don't want to make this show. I don't want to do any dead dog dedications.
Oh my God! Can we please find that clip?
I don't want to come out of an up-tempo number. An up-tempo number. This is how old school Casey Kasem was. I don't want to come out of any up-tempo numbers and to do a dead dog. Can you find that, Robin? I need the Casey Kasem
that was
dead
one of the
dog
best
dedication.
Bits. Oh, that was a dead dog dedication. This is Casey Kasem.
Well, Don Juan with an update, breaking news. And what happens on the show when news breaks? We fix it.
First.
Joyce Vincent and Thelma Hopkins, who are the 2 women in Dawn, still alive. Part of Tony Orlando and Dawn.
No, really?
Here we go. Robin, do we have it? Here we go. This is old. Now, Casey Kasem, for all of you youngsters out there. I mean, he hasn't been dead that long. He did the original Top 40 Countdown
show. Top 40 forever, yep.
And then, of course, Ryan Seacrest took over because Ryan Seacrest does everything now.
Right.
Including bar mitzvahs and Sweet 16s and all that other stuff.
He even helps Reggie when he's light on time.
And he played, Casey Kasem was the voice of Shaggy. He was amazing talent.
Yes.
And I was lucky. He was in the studio right behind me in L.A. recording his Casey's Countdown show. And he would bring in like smelly fish. Because he was, I think he was Armenian, Casey Kasem.
Yes.
And they like to eat fish, smelly fish. As long as he didn't put it in the stinking microwave in the studio, I was okay with it.
I can hear Tony right now going, Here's
Here
the
it
countdown before I kill this guy.
Now, this is Casey Kasem recording one of those Casey countdowns because they weren't live, and he's coming out of a song, and this is what happened. One of the greatest moments in broadcasting history.
Now, we're up to our long-distance dedication. And this one is about kids and pets and a situation that we can all understand, whether we have kids or pets or neither. It's from a man in Cincinnati, Ohio, and here's what he writes. Dear Casey, this may seem to be a strange dedication request, but I'm quite sincere, and it'll mean a lot if you play it. Recently, there was a death in our family. He was a little dog named Snuggles, but he was most certainly a part of... Let's start again. From coming out of the record. Play the record, okay? Please.
It's coming.
See, when you come out of those up-tempo goddamn numbers, man, it's impossible to make those transitions, and then you got to go into somebody dying. You know, they do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but goddamn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it. Is Don on the phone?
Get Don on the phone.
I want a goddamn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a fucking up-tempo record every time I do a goddamn death dedication. Now, make it, and I also want to know what happened to the pictures I was supposed to see this week. This is last goddamn time. I want somebody to use his fucking brain to not come out of a goddamn record that is that's up tempo, and I got to talk about a fucking dog dying. What is this fucking ponderous, man?
Ponderous.
Ponderous, fucking ponderous.
Tony,
non-stop music.
That's gotta be a drop.
All right, you got a special request?
All right, get off the Rick D's thing.
Ponderous,
How great is
Tony,
that?
ponderous has got to be a drop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Gotta be a drop.
got to lift the ponderous. We don't want to come out of any up-tempo numbers to do a goddamn dead dog
Tony,
dedication.
I want a concerted effort.
Where are those pictures? They're on Hunter's laptop, Casey. How did you not have them?
Where are those pictures? What are you looking at,
Get down on the phone. Get down on the phone.
Oh my
Wonder
God.
if that's my old boss, Don Martin, he was yelling about.
It's probably. I'll hold. Get him on the phone. I'll hold.
Jim, that is one of the all-time.
Oh, that's great. That's outstanding.
He got more angry as it went on.
Oh, yeah.
Because he started thinking
But
about
he's a
it
little
more
guy. I
and
mean, he was short. You know, and listen, when I met Casey Kasem, I was like, I was like royalty. He's radio royalty. I almost got down and curtsied. You know what I'm saying?
bowed. Genuflected.
Genuflected.
That's the word you're looking for.
I curtsy too. I mean, I do that too. It's L.A.
I want to see you curtsy, Tony.
Yeah. If Tony curtsies, he's going to be hurtsy.
Jim. Jim, thank you. Oh,
he's got a clip.
Jim the bums rush here.
Actually, I thought he played.
I don't have a clip this time. No, I didn't have a clip this time because I didn't think it was going to come on tonight. But I tell you about the Live 365. You can't. There is an app for it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Live 365, everybody. Hey,
hang on. There are some really, 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 really great stations on there. By the way,
there are.
Yeah,
they do. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you do not need to pay for Sirius XM anymore with the Live 365.
You're damn right.
All the other stuff that's on there. I think we're
cancel my subscription now. Get down on the phone.
Seriously,
tell Sirius XM I'm tired of paying $23 a month for one station. That's all I listen.
Ponderous.
It's fucking ponderous.
You know what's ponderous?
What?
We bring Jim on for one thing, right? He doesn't have it. What the fuck is he still doing?
No, every time I don't come on with it.
Come on, Luigi. This is Jim, man.
We don't bring him on for just one thing.
Mainly the one thing. Mainly. It's like,
I just had to let everybody know about the Live 365.
Live 365.
That's all you have to put in. You don't have to put anything else in.
Aren't you excited?
That's it.
Are you excited?
Yeah, you'll be able to listen live. I'm going to be on 3 to 6.
Okay,
I'm going to be doing afternoon drive. Beautiful. Man.
Okay, everybody enjoy the playoffs. I'll see you next time, everybody.
All right.
Thank you, Jim. There he is, ladies. Now put your hands together for the greatness that is.
Jim coming on with that. Jim coming on without a clip is like going to see Reggie and he's out of jelly. You know what I'm saying? It's a huge disappointment. It's a huge disappointment. He's the best. I love him. I love him. I love him. But
he's an old school fan. I mean, he's, you know.
And you know how hard he worked to get his video and audio together and working? Because he was having there was a glitch in his computer, and he finally had somebody come over there and overhaul his computer and get it working.
It was a conservative effort on all fronts, Tony.
Meanwhile,
I just spit my drink bag out. I'm like,
Robin made a nice drink. Now, what do you got here? You got
what do you got,
vodka?
cocktail?
Where's the lime? Why we keep buying limes and then they all rot? There's no lime in here.
Yes, there is.
Where's the damn lime in here?
It's in the coconut, Tony. It's in the coconut.
You put the lime in the damn coconut.
Exactly. Correct.
It's in there.
Where's the damn? I'm not sticking my whole fist in. I'm not fisting my drink to get a damn.
I squeezed it for you already.
I don't want to squeeze it. I want the damn lime in there.
There is a lime in there.
Tony, you don't have to fish your drink. It's already wet. You know what I'm saying? A finger will do. Maybe
you know what I'm saying?
2 cups of vodka.
Yeah.
Good vodka. And a big pitcher.
Yeah.
Just pour it right in.
Yeah.
Is that my girl Ina Graton?
No, that's Ina Garten. Was that Ina Garten? Ina Garten.
If we're going to die, let us die drunk, at least.
Exactly right, man.
AJ Lopez, who has my cell phone number, he could have just asked it on the text because he's listening. He is texting me, when does his daily show start? That is a good question. That is a very good question. We were hoping to have it starting next week, but I don't know.
It was supposed to start September 11th.
I know, but I don't know if we have everything all together yet. We're waiting for the app. We can't start
we need the app.
Until the app is
because
completed.
The app's the only way everybody can hear it because it's digital radio, which is the future of this industry.
No. They could also find it, but we have a lot of stuff going on because it's not just the Tony Bruno show. It is other day parts as well. And we have one particular gentleman who we're very excited that he's joining us. And he has, how should we say that, Tony? He has some issues that he's working out with his other job.
Well, who doesn't? I mean, let's be honest.
So he's going to be joining, and he will be doing the morning show. And then
it's not Casey Kasem or Ryan Seacrest.
No.
I can confirm that that's not going to happen.
I can announce that we have the Defo and Luby show that will be on from 10 to noon. Mm-hmm. Defo and Luby, Jeff DeForest, and Michael Lubix.
A couple of Miami guys.
Miami guys. They've been. Jeff DeForest has been doing sports radio forever, and he joined up with Luby, and they have a fantastic show. So he's going to be on the early middays from 10 to noon.
I'm not releasing the entire schedule right now.
No, I'm not, because we're still leaving the 10.
You got to tease it. You got to leave them wanting more.
But we
do. Go to Reggie.
I'm
and say, I just want something to last a couple of hours. Just give me a half a pill tonight. Let me see if it works.
Let me bring somebody on right now who we can announce. He is going to be on after the Tony Bruno show from 6 to 8 p.m.
Casey Kasem?
The fabulous Angel Martinez from Broad Street South.
Broad Street South, Luigi. You know Angel. Did you meet Angel?
I don't think we've crossed paths. I'm not sure.
Now
he's up in North Florida. He's up in what's the name of the town up there near Tarpon Springs?
Well, he's on right now. He can tell you himself.
He can tell you right there, Tony. Right
Angel,
there.
what's going on, brother?
Sure. What's up, Tony? How are you?
You're still living on a golf course, right?
Sure do. Even though I don't play it, but I'm living on there.
That's a good job out of you, man.
So
what's the name of the town? Because I know Tarpon Springs is right there where they have all the sponges. And I don't mean Democrats. There's no Democrats up there in Tarpon Springs. Their sponges are down there in over in Palm Beach County. And where's the other township where they're trying to get rid of a guy because he tweeted a.
It's over by Port St. Lucie.
No, it's not. It's on the East Coast.
Something River. Yeah, something River. I don't remember, but anyway, they're getting rid of somebody because they retweeted a tweet, and now they're
from the Babylon Bee, and now the school board in this town, not John Cicada.
No. But let's get back to the fabulous Angel Martinez, who we are able to announce he is officially signed on, so he is going to be going live every day from 6 to 8 p.m. on the brand new Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Yeah. He's already doing a show, which you can hear, Broad Street South. How many times a week are you doing Broad Street South, Angel?
So it's up to 4 Now it'll be up to 5 now at this point, but I'm doing 4 days. There's 2 show on Monday, 2 shows on Wednesday, and then a show on Thursday.
Now, is it late show, blue show? Do you work blue, or do you is it suitable for all ages?
No, it's suitable for all ages. That's for sure. I wish I
the
could
only
get to.
foul mouth around here, man.
Oh,
Fuck you.
You're right. Actually, come to think of it, I think Angel might be the most clean out of all of us.
Exactly. He absolutely is.
Yeah, I think he is.
I could be clean, but why?
But we are very, very excited to have you be a part of the brand new network, Angel. We've known you now for like 6 years or so, and you started off doing like a little tiny podcast, and you grew your podcast into something big, and then you started your own radio station.
Yep.
And when we were trying to figure out who we knew that would be able to join us on this new network, and that we're trying to get most of the people here locally in Florida somewhere. You were one of the first people we thought of, and so we're very happy to announce.
And by the way, Luigi was one of the last people we thought of, so I want you to know that we had a very exhaustive interview process here before we. I'm kidding.
Don't call me when you need somebody who knows what they're doing. Don't call me. All right. Don't call me. When you need ratings, we need someone to move the needle bigger than Reggie. Don't call me. All right.
Well, Luigi's going to be part of the new show.
Am I?
So yeah.
He's going to be the driver. He's going to be picking up the guests and bringing them to the
Tony, can I be the chauffeur so I get blown on Can I at least be the chauffeur so I get blown on Yom Kippur? All right.
By the way, yes, AJ Lopez, you're right. TB Sports Network, the Bruno Sports Network, or TBSN, has old clips playing right now. So if you want to go on there,
yes,
and you can listen to old shows.
I don't know how many hours I actually gave to Big Mama to play, because what they needed is they needed the network
to run 24/7.
24/7 with something so that they can build.
But it's
the
not
app.
the same show running like 100 times a day.
No,
is it?
it's like 50 or 100 hours worth of shows.
Oh shit! I can listen to that all week. I'll just leave it on all weekend and pleasure myself listening to them. I don't normally get to listen to myself.
You went there? Take it easy, dude.
I think I gave him an entire year's worth of shows from like 2019 or something like that. So I have no idea what they are.
Yeah, well, this one show is giving me a lifetime's worth of memories already. So I'm done. Meanwhile,
so Angel, for those for everybody that doesn't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
He's not related to Angel Hernandez, who will be scalping tickets in front of the World Series games, because that guy should not be allowed anywhere near a major league ballpark. And they finally got rid of him. And you know, Angel, no relation, because your name is not Angel Hernandez.
Oh,
well, you know what the tickets are, Tony. The
Angel,
tickets are easy to find.
Before you answer, AJ Lopez just sent me a screenshot of what is currently playing on Live 365, the TBSN station. Let's see. Talking NFL Eagles, McMullen and Jim Kenny.
Awesome. Where I ripped Jim Kenny, the Philly
Friday
mayor.
Antonio Brown officially needs something. It's cut off. Darius Mayfield. Oh, I remember Darius.
I thought it was the Macarena led by Reggie and the Pump It Up crowd down in the Villages. That's what I thought it was.
No, AJ Lopez points out that Angel Hernandez will be counting votes in the next election.
Well,
somewhere in Arizona.
Yeah, the tickets are a little hard to get because when you pay Angel for the tickets, they're low and away, Tony.
All right. But back to our Angel. Angel, tell us a little bit.
No relation to Constantino Martinez, the former New York Yankee great.
So tell us a little bit about you and about
Same
the
guy.
show that you will be putting on from 6 to 8.
So I started with known you guys obviously a long time, especially Tony back in the Fanatic. If everybody remembers back in those days as well, which apparently they're having issues now with a current person that's suspended, but that's, I guess, neither here nor there. But no, I started the network about 3 years ago. Since then, it's Broad Street South. Moving from Philly down to here. What I ended up doing was to bring some of the Philly flair down to the Tampa region. And so it started just with with myself and Fuji. Fuji, of course, no longer with the network, but we had Derek Gunn as the first guest, along with Brandon Lee Gowton. And then after that, it basically started blossoming and taking off. And every year I set out a different goal. And so now I have the radio station, which has 8 different shows, along with what I do for Broad Street South. And so they're on all the time. There's 2 more shows that are coming over to the radio network as well. And so that grows as I reach out to different people to network with them and see what their shows are about. It ends up helping everyone all together. And that's the key part about it. And with you guys, it's a blessing because going behind Tony is, to me, it's very honorable. Tony, again, he knows it. I've listened to him for many, many years. And it's going to be fun to go after Tony, especially when it's 2 different things. You have Tony Unfiltered, and then you have our show, which, like you said, Robin, it's clean because that's how we've carried ourselves since the inception. And that's how we've been able to get the guests on there.
You realize we're going to corrupt you. I mean, how long do you, Luigi, seriously, how long do you?
No, seriously, he said it's going to be fun going to Tony. I mean, imagine the ball that the IRS is having right now going to Tony. It's incredible. It's incredible.
I give
him 2 weeks. I give him 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks.
I think he's going to hold out a little bit longer, but I feel like he's going to have his first curse word within 3 months.
Who, me?
No,
Angel doesn't curse.
Yeah.
Every curse I've said has been properly timed, as in like the time I felt it's right to say. That's what I mean. So it's fine. It's not going to
We are so excited to have him be part of
this.
And
the thing is, everybody gets to do their own thing. There's no micromanaging. There's nobody telling you what to say or what to do.
I never
Other than Robin, she's the only micromanager now.
Promised he wasn't going to micromanage.
And then I can fire Robin because I'm the boss of her. You know what I'm saying?
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
No, it's it'll be fun because we have normally Monday nights we have a NFL show with Lloyd Vance, and then Wednesday nights we started a basketball hoop show, and that's with Ron Briscoe, the Nike executive that was in charge of bringing LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and I'm missing somebody, Michael Jordan originally.
Yeah, that other guy. Yeah.
The main
and by
guy.
the way, he said hello, Tony. He does remember you, and we were talking about you, if your ears weren't ringing, on the last episode before and after the show, during the show, because we had Lewis Preston on. He's telling Lewis, "Oh, you got to meet Tony. That guy, he's a fun guy." He goes, he has no filter. That's probably why he's over there on that network." He goes, but he's the funniest guy ever. But Ron talked really, really well about you.
Well, thank you. No, I mean, you know me. I love basketball. I love the NBA. I mean, I've been following it since the 60s. So, my recent stuff about the NBA is not I don't hate the game. I hate some of the players. I mean, that's what it's like.
No, you don't hate the game. You love the game. You hate the organization and what it's become.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we call out.
By the way,
it doesn't matter what sport it is. If there's stuff that they do that's stupid, I'll call it out. Whether it's football, baseball, hockey, basketball, you name it. And again, I'm not about calling things out. I'm about enjoying sports because sports is entertainment. That's why we watch it. We don't watch it to be lectured or be told what to think, say, or do. We watch it because it makes us happy or makes us sad. But at least we know what it is that we're watching.
Well, AJ Lopez.
Like this program right here.
Exactly.
AJ Lopez says, "Dear Live 365, let's just get these out of the way. It's not Tony's style to rip. He's a Philly homer and Robin's Dutch."
Right. Now, you may not know that if you haven't been listening to the show for the last...
I don't think anybody... this is like news to people.
Yeah. Robin speaks differently. She's Dutch.
Yes, she does.
Freaky
deaky Dutch, by the way, yes.
Misha sends her love to both and hugs and kisses, as she told me, to both you and Robin. She says
we haven't seen her in forever. I mean, we were hanging out in your house up there, and it was cold, by the way, when we were there the last time. It's like in wintertime, man. It gets cold up north. That's why I had to move down to Southwest, man. Anything north of Tampa, man, it gets chill. It gets nipply at night up there, man.
It's like Tampa is Tony's Mason-Dixon line.
Yes, it is.
Like anything north of Tampa, that, he's just like, it's too damn cold.
Too damn. I can't take temperatures under 50 degrees at night, man.
It's rare when it happens this way.
So anyway, that's all the news that we can give you about TBSN tonight. More and the official lineup will be released as soon as we can.
Exactly.
But we are happy to be able to release the news that. And are you going to still call your show Broad Street South, or are you going to give this a new name? on the show. 'Cause we're
As of the moment, it's still going to be Broad Street South,
which is totally fine.
That's right. Luigi had his own show called Broads on South Street. So I mean, he had that show.
No, it was Broads Go South. That's what and I didn't have that show. That show still
that was a fun show.
That show's
have you seen some of the Broads on South Street, man? You go down there and they're with Jim Steaks. You go to the Di Lorenzo's Pizza and get one of those 7,000-pound slices, and you're out there and there's some sloppy drunk
There's
shit.
no action here. There's no action here. You guys stay around 6th, right around 6th and South. That's where you got to be. Yeah, 6th.
So now, wait, Luigi, are you still in South Philly?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, we're trying to get him to come down
I'm
here.
really on Broad Street South right now.
Yes, he is. He really is. He's literally a block away from Broad Street. Although he is finding some nice four-wheelers and some dirt bikes that just happen to be laying in front of his condo.
Yeah, I go out there every night looking for my mongoose that somebody took when I was 15 years old. I still haven't found it.
That's right. They stole my scooter and my Trek bike in my neighborhood in South Philly.
You just said the two whitest
went to hell.
You just said that if anybody didn't know or was watching you right there when you said that they stole my scooter and my Trek bike, they knew you were white immediately without even having to see your face. They knew you were white.
And the dudes who stole it were white too because we got them on video camera. So it's not about race in Philly. When you're a punk, thug, criminal, race knows no issue. It's
thug
it's
is
dudes.
thug.
Thugs are thugs, punks, whatever you want to call them.
Well, rap is rap and hip hop.
And hip hop is hip hop. You're absolutely right about
two
that.
different things, though. Two totally different things.
Exactly.
That's true. No.
Well, you know
Angel?
what? You know what I'd like to do, Angel. I would love when we actually do our official launch of
We got to
the
have
station.
a party. We got like a rent.
We need to have you come down.
We might rent the Moose Lodge.
No.
Yeah, we're
We should go to the villages.
We're gonna
go to the villages.
in studio.
That would be a party.
It would be fun. It would be fun to have everybody in studio. for that.
Absolutely, man. It's over in Fort Myers, baby. Fort Myers.
I just want to go to the villages, dude. That's all I want to do.
You don't
You
want
need
to
to look, Luigi. Look up one of those videos. Not the Reggie video, but some of these other videos about the villages. It is insane. It's so like.
There's only two things you need at the villages. You need dick pills and you need Voltrex. Because it is the STD capital of the world, and a golf cart to get home at night at 3 in the morning.
I'm trying to get these student loans paid off, pal. One way or another. I'm kidding. I'm doing it for fun. I'm doing it for fun. I'm kidding.
All right, listen, the show's almost over already.
It is. It's supposed to be over already. Although we had that little snafu at the beginning, so we're going to go about 10
I'm
minutes.
done. I'm getting bored. I'm out.
We're in, as they say in soccer, we're in extra time. We're in injury time.
We're in injury time.
See, this is why I don't like Luigi being so far away, because I want to be able to just reach over and slap him. And he really should be in studio so that I can just like slap him upside the head every now and then.
Fucking
Luigi, what's it going to take for you to move to Florida?
About $70,000 a year, something like that.
Shit, nobody makes $70,000 a year down here, bro.
You're thinking Philly salary. Luigi, you're thinking Philly salary. You don't need that down here.
Now the difference is you could go loot a Lululemon and get a lot of yoga pants and get some iPhones, because everybody must eat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody must eat, Robin. Remember that? Yes. I don't want to forget that. Yeah. Don't ever forget it. Is she still in my machine here?
Yes.
Where is she?
We have an unknown person here in the chat room who says, "Give Luigi the bumpy bump."
That's unknown. Yes.
Yeah. What is up with the unknown?
I don't know, but if you don't put up your name and/or caricature, you're a bitch. But I will still take the bumpy bump. How about that? Hey, Tony, what do we do on this program that we've done our entire lives, and you've done your entire life on radio? You hold people accountable.
Exactly right.
You have to be accountable for your words and/or actions. That's it.
We didn't even do our.
We didn't do anything.
We didn't do our great update on your boy, Steve Sarkisian, which was one of the great trends today on Twitter. Did you see this? Steve Sarkisian was being. Everybody was making jokes about Steve because Oklahoma and Texas obviously are going to play in a big game.
Yes.
And so they're all making fun of Steve Sarkisian, who's at Texas now, and of course. And we got a lot of friends here, a lot of Oklahoma Sooner fans because they're good too. But so they're doing all. Steve Sarkisian thinks that a ballpark beer is fairly priced. I mean, this is a whole
It's so
thread.
funny.
It is funny
so
as hell.
Steve Sarkisian is trending, and for those of you who do not know this yet, not only am I Dutch, but the last 2 years of my high school, I was in LA, and I actually went to school with his younger sister was in the same grade as I am, Amy.
Amy
and
Sarkisian.
They are very good Armenian family, and they have like 3 billion kids. And Steve Sarkisian is one of them. He was a year older, I think. I think they had like a kid in every single grade.
You know those Armenians, man. They like to pump out babies.
They pumped him out. And Steve,
Sure
I
do.
remember he was on the football team, and he was like hot stuff back in high school.
By the way, the unknown comic or person in the stream, he said that your buddy Doug, I joined late working on fixing it. So
it could be the great Doug McGregor.
It could be.
Oh.
So I think you owe him an apology, Luigi.
Hollywood
I
Doug.
think you owe him an apology, man.
I don't owe anybody a damn thing, Tony. Nothing.
Well,
I owe
and
nothing.
Eric Burns apologizes that he was not able to hop on.
Because he's a big Arizona Diamondback fan, and
Yep.
they're legit. You know what I'm saying?
And he was going to pop on in between flights. He was flying from California to Arizona and doing all sorts of other stuff. And he was going to try to
Talk
call
some
in-
baseball
but
tonight.
that did not happen. God damn it.
Robin, watch taking the Lord's name in vain.
Now, I hope your program runs a lot smoother than this shit show that's happening. Right
Me
now.
too. Jeez Louise.
Actually, this is it, though. I mean, this is what people really love, man. Just people getting loose and just talking and having a good time. And
Exactly.
you go, I remember, when I first started interning with Tony a long time ago, and we would have like show sheets prepared of things that like Tony wanted to get to or whatever. Like Robin would hand those out in the pre-show meetings with little packets of crackers, so we didn't get hungry. And then we would go through it. And I would go, Tone, we got to get to this, we got to get to that, and he would always say, "Don't worry about it. We're on this. This is funny. This is hitting. We're staying here. The rest of the stuff doesn't matter." So it doesn't. You don't have to get to everything to have a good show, kind of a thing.
No, you're right. You over prepare, and then you do we had to do the Florida story tonight. And this could be the greatest Florida update we've ever done.
It is by far my favorite story of all time.
Absolutely.
All time.
That and the New York Giants saying we want the damn ball. Well,
Now,
they didn't say
AJ
they want
Lopez says Robin will slur at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so that's good. No, at 3 p.m., that's the beginning of the show.
That's happy hour. Happy hour starts here early because people go to bed at
But
like
I
8
don't think
o'clock.
I'd be slurring until at least 5 or 6, so like towards the end of the show.
We'll be an open bar. Our show will be the only afternoon drive show that will have an
a
open
bar in the studio.
Happy hour. People will come in and drink. You know how it works. We bring people into the studio.
Robin goes from defying Dutch to cerebral palsy. And
come on, man.
It's
Come
hilarious.
on, man.
I think
it snaps out of it. Relax. She gets out of it.
You know what? I think the only time I've ever been where I'm like, oh my God, I'm so wasted was when we were still at Dockside, and we were drinking Michael and David wine.
The Rapture. The Rapture.
Yes, the Rapture. And you were fine, but it was me and
no, it was me too.
Was it you?
I was
no.
gone.
Were you totally blitzed out as well?
Tony was asking me stuff, and I was somewhere else. I did not care if it was happening anymore.
We were drinking Michael, and I don't know why it
I
hit
have
me
the picture
so.
of it.
Oh my Lord!
I have the picture of it on my phone. I'll send it to you. It was me, you, Joe, and Tony.
That's right.
And Joe and
was
Tony
there.
were in.
Joe Corrado. Joe Corrado.
Yes, Joe Corrado was there.
He's MIA. We got to put him on a milk carton in South Philly.
Joe and Tony were in the middle, and Robin and I were bookends. And the picture is Tony and Joe looking straight ahead, and me and Robin looking opposite directions. They were just like, did not care what was going on. Did not care.
It hit me so fast, and I remember, I hadn't had that much to drink, but I think that it was like we were just setting up. This was like 10 years ago at least, right? And we were trying to set up all the equipment, and Nathaniel was there doing the video and a photo shoot. I don't think any of us had eaten, and we opened up Rapture, and I remember at one point I was fine, and then I went to move my head, and it felt like I was moving through molasses. And I looked up and I went, Oh shit!
Yeah. Everybody must.
What happened?
Everybody must eat.
That's the last time we accept a bottle from Reggie. The last time.
Exactly right, man.
The last damn time.
It was something.
It was
right.
bad. One for the books.
Well,
to be honest.
if you guys going to have I think if you guys going to have an open bar there at the studio, I should make a trip once a month.
Absolutely, man.
I know.
Absolutely.
We're trying to get a liquor sponsorship. Or at least, either a liquor store, like ABC Liquors or Total Wine.
I want to go to Total Wine and More. I know the guy who owns it. We need to have a sponsorship. Maybe Yingling. I need one of those Yingling signs, because I want to represent Pennsylvania. It's still the oldest brewery in America, Yingling. And Yingling's everywhere now, but I want to be the Yingling guy here.
That would be good, especially because you like the Yingling flight.
If you want to represent Pennsylvania, you need to get an inflatable rat outside of the studio.
Well, we'll have that too.
And we have a meeting. I think maybe
a cigar. Yeah, AJ Lopez cigar sponsorship
with a cigar bar. That's right here.
Exactly right, man. So, cigars, booze, broads. What else can you ask for down here? You know what I'm saying?
I think you got it all covered, Tony.
Yeah.
And except maybe Reggie can sponsor the show as well.
We'll bring Reggie in and tell us his have him bring pictures of the favorite chicks he's done on.
Don't worry if you don't mention it to him. Don't worry if you don't mention it to him. He'll bring it up. Don't worry.
You need to have like bump on speed dial.
This one right here? No, that's the wrong one.
Fucking Reggie.
No, we just need.
I gotta meet this guy.
Real simple, but
where is my rim shot?
I don't know if I.
Here it is. That's a real rim.
Yeah, there we go.
That was live in studio.
Yes,
by the drummer for the old Tonight Show band,
Smitty Smith.
Yes, Marvin Smitty Smith. Remember him, the drummer in the Tonight Show band? He came into the studio and did these live.
We'll need to contact him again and have him.
I need some fresh rim shots, baby.
All right, Angel. We're going to say goodbye to you so that we can end the show.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, AJ. Let's put your hands together for the great Angel Hernandez, ladies and gentlemen. Angel Mark. I got Angel Hernandez on my head.
Let me tell you something. I think AJ was a little terrified of what was going on with some of the talking. He's a little, he's very straight. With the.
He's but he knows. Very nice. He knows us, and he's been a fan, so he knows with it. And we are going to corrupt him a little tiny bit at a time.
Well, we won't be because we'll be off the air. He'll be on after us, but I don't know if we can do any crosstalk. You know how these radio stations do crosstalk?
I know. I don't know.
So he'll just be. He'll just be. So what's he gonna have, like a Comrex in the studio and just go in?
No. This is no longer Comrex technology.
This is going to be on the beautiful, what's it called now?
Well, no.
I like Matthew over here, Matthew Raposa. Anyone here has already been corrupted.
Exactly.
The Roadcaster, that's the thing now.
The fans have been corrupted, and we thank you. Oh, I didn't even get to go about the story about fans who love celebrities.
Screw them.
Oh, well.
They're called stalkers.
But I want to play one Travis Kelce clip though.
Please, God, Tony, please, not YouTube.
Because this is good stuff.
Which one?
I want the one. What was better, the Super Bowl or banging Taylor Swift? Let's go to the tape, Robin. Did you find it yet? Have her look it up. We got two cuts. What was better?
I'm more of a 2 Chainz guy.
All right, I got it. Hold on.
What was better, Luigi? Now, if you won the Super Bowl and then you got to make believe that you were banging Taylor Swift for a couple of weeks, what would it be bigger to you?
Probably the Super Bowl because I've only been there once, and everybody else has been in her twice. So I'm
good answer.
Probably going to go to the Super Bowl.
But let's go to Travis Kelce and see what he says, shall we?
Yeah, let's go, Travis.
Yeah. As all the attention comes, it feels like I was on top of the world after the Super Bowl, and right now even more on top of the world. So it's fun, man. Yeah.
So he is saying that
he's even more on top of the world.
Dating Taylor Swift is better than winning the Super Bowl.
Well, how many times you get to bang Taylor Swift before she dumps you and moves on to another sap? You know what I'm saying? And then he also responded. We have the other little clip. The Mr. Fox. Because remember, Aaron Rodgers called him Mr. Pfizer. Remember, he was on the Pat McAfee show?
Yeah, it was so good. And he
called him Mr. Pfizer because remember, they were talking on the sidelines when the Jets were playing, remember, at the Meadowlands, Kansas City and the Jets. And then Travis Kelce goes over to Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, and then they're talking. So he was called Mr. Pfizer on the Pat McAfee show by Aaron Rodgers, and then he responded to that earlier today.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, with the stash right now, I look like a guy named Mr. Pfizer. Who knew I'd get into the Vax wars with Aaron Rodgers, man? It's Mr. Pfizer versus the Johnson & Johnson family over there, man.
I'm Team Moderna.
I mean, I've always been, once I got the vaccine, I got it because of, keeping myself safe, keeping my family safe, the people in this building. So, yeah, I stand by it 1,000% and fully comfortable with him calling me Mr. Pfizer.
See, now that's a classy way to do it.
That's exactly a way to do it. It's also an honest way to do it because it's
exactly.
Look, I'm going to do me. You don't like it.
Yeah.
That's no big deal. Cool. See it. Done.
Exactly. That's why I like Travis. I don't hate Travis Kelce. I mean, I know his brother. These guys are running the world.
Now,
Travis Kelce now is in every commercial for
here's
any
the
product.
thing.
I don't blame him, man.
There's
You
a
hit while the
difference.
iron's hot. You strike while the iron's hot.
I agree that he was classy in his response there. However, he did take money to pimp it on TV.
Because they're coming after him and paying him a lot of money.
But there's a difference between doing you and pimping it and trying to convince other people to do it.
He's not telling anybody. He's doing a commercial. You know what? He's not forcing anybody to take the shot, and that's the way it should be. He does every commercial you see he's on.
I know. Well,
right?
he's definitely
in everything. That's what happens when when you have a documentary on Prime Video, and these guys are living the high life right now. Because in a couple of years, Jason and Travis will be gone from the NFL, and they'll probably do things outside of football because they're talented, smart guys. That's what the bottom line is. But to show you what a scam this COVID scam is, now when you get the COVID test kit, guess what it does? It tests you for COVID and the flu at the same time. There's only one thing better than having a test kit that can tell you whether you have COVID or the flu at the same time. And you know what that is? Two chicks at the same time.
Which, to me, as somebody who knows a little bit about biology and stuff because of my cousin.
I thought you were going the other way. I'm sorry.
Well, she does. She's on her bye week, by the way. Not only are 4 other teams in the NFL.
My cousin...
Whatever you got to do, keep rolling. Just keep going.
My cousin Trish... My cousin Trish, who has her PhD in virology, she was the one that told me. She's like, Robin, COVID, whatever. It's the flu. It's the flu. They're making a big deal out of this, and it's silly.
If you want to get 15 boosters, go right ahead. I don't tell people what to do with their bodies.
This just proved it, though. That's
a slur right there, Robin. How many drinks have you had tonight?
One thing. Tell me one thing, Robin. Please tell me that her name is Trish the Petri Dish. Please tell me that's her name. Please.
No, it's
a crime
not.
It's a freaking
her name
crime.
is Patricia, but everybody calls her Trish.
So Patricia the Petri Disher. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man.
Easy to remember.
Don't worry. I'll tell her that the next time I talk to her. I'm sure she'll love it.
All right, we got to get out of here, Robin.
We have to get out of here.
We got to get out.
You tell her I said hello. All right?
Hello. Hello.
Not hello. Hello. This was fun.
Yeah, it was good stuff, Luigi. It was great stuff today.
And that was not a slur, AJ.
Yes,
it was not a slur. This is a slur. No.
And how about go Texas Rangers tomorrow?
Go Rangers.
Go Phillies.
Go Phillies.
Who else do we want to root for? You want the Minnesota Twins to win over Houston?
And don't forget to tune in Sunday morning at 11 a.m.
That's right, Philly Godfather, baby. Stone Cold. He was like 6-0 last Sunday, Luigi. 6-0.
That's quality, man. That's quality.
Damn right. He's on fire.
Yeah, I took off gambling for an entire month, dude.
I've been off gambling for an entire year, and I still can't get into my stupid account.
Well, I stopped gambling for
apparently
a month.
Tony's DraftKings team is going to be active. I'm going to post it
I won the
everywhere.
fantasy league. I won my own fantasy league last week.
Yes, he did.
That's awesome.
I kicked ass, bro.
I'm stopped gambling for like a month, and I'm down more than ever. It's freaking
Except
ridiculous.
The fact that DraftKings was giving everybody such a hard time. Only like 6 people entered, so it's
7 people, and I came away with $63, meaning I made a $53 profit.
outrage.
It is an outrage.
Not bad, man. You know, I mean, Tony, you asked you Reggie 60 get you 80. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we got to get out of here. We want to thank everybody.
A lot of
tonight.
fun.
Another
tonight,
fun
guys.
show.
A lot of fun.
Thanks, Luigi. Thanks to everybody for listening, calling in, being on the chat. Everybody listening to No Filter, we love you all. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. And God bless America. Crank it up, Ron.
Call it out a dress with welcome little letters that come out to HMS. Good night to all the firemen, we hope you're safe and well, although you go to blazes every time you ring your bell. Good night everyone, you've earned your daily bread. Good night and so to bed.
Turbocharge. Turbocharge. It's an outrage!
To all the highbrows, we think it is a lark to play what we are playing when you're wanting Mr. Mark. Good night to all our authors who write us books galore, and though we don't know which is best, we know one who is sure. Good night, everyone, you've earned your daily bread. Good night and so to bed.
Bullshit. It's all bullshit.
To taxi drivers who drive us day and night and never lose their tempers but are always most polite. Good night to everybody we haven't named before. Just make a rhyme up for yourselves, we don't know anymore. Good night everyone, you've earned your daily bread. Good night and so to bed.
But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
Hi. Good night, everybody.